someone you It's okay.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, so are we online? Can we start? Just let us know. Can we start? Yes? Yes. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this grand final of the EU Sparks for Climate Citizens Hackathon Championship. My name is Miguel Ángel García, and it's truly an honor to be here with all of you today at this exciting event, where some of Europe's brightest and most committed citizens come together to present the innovative solutions they have been working on over the past few months.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Egoitz Zarallo, and I'm also thrilled to welcome you to this event, which represents a new milestone in the journey of our participants and also all those who have been collaborating with the initiative. Today, we are pleased to be joined by the 27 winning teams of the local hackathons, connecting with us from different parts of Europe, who will share their innovative solutions.
Yeah, we're also joined in person by the distinguished members of the European Commission. They represent the three initiatives within which this contest is framed: the EU Knowledge Valorisation Policy, the EU Mission on Adaptation to Climate Change, and the EU Mission on Climate Neutral and Smart Cities. Welcome.
And of course, our esteemed members of the EU Sparks for Climate Advisory Board, who have supported the implementation of this initiative, contributing with their expertise and with their knowledge.
And of course, our virtual audience, who will be following the event live. We look forward to your participation and encourage you to engage with the teams by asking questions through Slido.
Okay, and before we start, let us give you some context about the journey, how the journey has been so far. Over the past 5 months, we have seen, let's say, sparks of inspiration in more than 300 citizens and researchers, many of whom were participating in a hackathon for the first time. We had people of all ages, from 22 European member states and 7 Horizon European associated countries, with a shared goal, a shared objective to make a difference, to bring research to life with innovative solutions for the market, for social or policy uptake.
Yeah, together, these citizens and researchers, united by the EU Mission on Adaptation to Climate Change and the EU Mission on Climate Neutral and Smart Cities, worked in 74 teams to contribute their energy, their knowledge, and their creativity in order to transform regions and cities into resilient and sustainable hubs. We have seen thousands of sparks of creativity, thanks also to the involvement of over 120 mentors and judges, and the coordination of 24 local hosts who helped organize hackathons across Europe. And now, here we are, about to see the brightest sparks yet, those of our 27 finalist teams, who will present their innovative solutions to the pressing climate challenges of today and tomorrow.
Okay, and surely you are wondering what's to come today. Okay, our event is structured into different sections. We are going to start traveling across Europe to know, to introduce, to meet our 27 winning teams. teams. Each of these teams represents a spark of innovation, and we look forward to learning more about their solutions. After the introductions, we will have some inspiring talks about how the citizen engagement in knowledge valorization can lead to a better policies and a better solutions for the society. And then we will dive into 2 panels where we'll explore how the let's say, solutions of our participants can contribute to the objectives of the EU missions.
Yeah, and we encourage you all to take an active part in these 2 panels by asking questions and engaging with the teams. All you need to do is to use the link on our website to Slido or the QR code you will see on the screen during the presentations. And please be sure to include who are you asking your question to, the name of the team or the name of the spokesperson. This is very important so that we can know who are you addressing your question to. And then, after the panels, where we will learn about the solutions that the teams have developed, we will also welcome one of our local hosts and also a member of the EU Sparks for Climate Advisory Board, who will share some of the lessons learned during this phase of the competition.
Okay, and once again, thank you and welcome to the final of the EU Sparks for Climate Citizen Championship. We are excited to witness the incredible task, the incredible work, the energy of the teams, and we look forward to a day filled with innovation and collaboration. So
let's get started. Okay, so thank you so much, Egoitz. And now let's go. And it's time to meet the teams. So let's start our travel all around Europe to say hello to our teams so that they can present. And for that, let me welcome to the stage Dr. Iphigenia Pottaki. She is Policy Officer for Valorisation Policies and IPR at the Directorate General Research and Innovation of the European Commission. Please,
thank you,
Iphigenia.
Miguel. You've said everything. So without further ado, let's meet the teams. The first team is Allium from Poland. So one member of the team, Adam, please introduce the team and the challenge you are addressing.
We cannot hear the sound. We cannot hear you. Yeah, it seems you are muted. Yeah. Could you please check? Okay, let's continue with our next team while we solve the issue. So now let's travel to Turkey, and we will meet Team Vinergi. So please, Vinergi. Please, can we jump to the next team? Hello?
The sound is not working.
Yeah, we cannot hear you here. I don't know if in the call it is okay, but here we cannot.
I'm trying to contact the people in the room so they can know that it's their problem. We are doing it
okay.
Well, okay? Just give me a second.
Okay. So should we continue with the next team or let's wait? Yeah.
You want to continue with the next or?
Should we? Yeah, let's try with the next.
So the next team is City Layers from Austria. Let's hope this will work.
Yes, hello there. I
Hello.
hope I hope we will get a feedback or something that everyone hears us. So yeah, I'm Lovro, and our team, our City Layers team, zooms in on the escalating health challenges our cities are facing today, with rising temperatures, strained infrastructure, and pollution increasingly threatening the health and livability in urban spaces. We feel that vulnerable communities are impacted the most. And nearly 45% of the population, including the health impaired, the people with functional diversity, the elderly, and minors, struggle to voice their spatial needs and access vital information needed for navigating these increasingly difficult urban environments today. And to introduce our team, it's a multidisciplinary team that combines years of expertise, should I say, in urban sustainability research, citizen science, city planning, urban simulations, and spatial data analysis. Myself, as a TEUVIN researcher and project lead, I'm happy to be surrounded with, at least virtually, with my colleague Domagoj, who is a citizen participation expert, Andrea, a sustainability lecturer, our colleague Angelos, who is also dealing with urban and climate simulations, as well as Seriosha Düring, who is a spatial data analysis expert.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Now it seems we can go to Team Allium again. Hello.
Okay, now?
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yes. So hi, we are Team Allium. We come from Poland, and our solution is focusing on overuse of plastic packaging, together with huge amount of food waste generated. And we actually found a solution to both of this issue in Europe and actually in a global way. So as our team, we are all a PhD students. 3 of us are from Poland. So it's Olivia, Natalia, me, Adam, and also Branislav from Serbia. He's currently in Serbia. We are actually a specialist from material engineering, from chemistry, from microbiology, biology, biotechnology, and plant scientists. Also, we have some ability to work with projects, and I think that we are in a good way to find the great solution to this issue. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Team Allium. Should we try with Vinergi again? Yeah. Vinergi from Turkey.
Hello. My name is Muhammed Oğuzhan Mete. I am assistant professor of geomatics engineering. Our team name is Binerji, and I have team members Muhammed Yahya Bıyık, Zafer Talhavşi, and Alperen Filiz. And our challenge is related with building energy efficiency. So building operations represent 28% of total global carbon emissions. And this contributes significantly to the climate change. And our team proposed a solution for mitigating climate change effects for building sustainable smart cities. And our solution includes digital twin-based geo-AI tools to mitigate greenhouse gas emissions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Team Vinergi. So, let's continue then with Team Cool Site Solutions. They are from Spain. Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you all. My name is Javier Rodriguez. I am from Seville, Spain. I am one of the members of Cool Site Solutions. And our challenge was how can we mitigate the health risks from the extreme heat in the southern Spain in the whole society, but we tackle it better for the elderly people. And our solution is just how to tackle this growing threat of extreme heat in southern Spain with a sustainable solar-powered cooling solution that creates shaded green spaces, reducing heat risks. And we just tackle it for the vulnerable populations and also fostering community connections with these solar-powered green spaces.
Many thanks, Javier, for Cool Shade Solutions. And the next team is the Ice from Latvia. We have again lost the sound.
Yeah. We cannot hear. Hello?
Can you hear us now?
Yes,
Yes.
now.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, so we are the ICE, and we're working on a solution to the waste caused by different kinds of batteries to improve their recyclability and sustainability. We are 2 students, a researcher and an engineer from Latvia.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's continue with the next team. They are eco-innovation enthusiasts, and they come from Turkey.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, so we are Team Eco-Innovation Enthusiasts. We are coming from Turkey. Our team is consisting of 4 high school students and 2 researchers. Me, Efe, Berke, Kaan Cem, and Sedat. Our researchers are Professor Mehmet Göktürk and Ercan Ertürk, one in Department of Computer Engineering and one in Mechanical Engineering. So our solution introduces a technique of passive cooling to reduce the urban heat island effect in big cities. Our solution is inspired by ancient technology and combined with modern science. And our solution decreases AC usage, which lowers the energy use and cools the streets and improves air quality as well.
Wonderful. Thank you, eco-innovation enthusiasts. And the next team is Ecoluvera from France.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, we can hear you. We can't see you yet.
I opened my camera. I guess there is a small problem with what about now?
No, we can't see the...
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, now.
I guess now
yeah.
it's working.
Yeah.
Okay, so hello everyone. We are Ecoluvera, a team from France. Our story began, our team given birth when we were all walking around Lille, and we noticed there are so many trash bins that were fully full. And on that trash, we noticed that there were so many objects like recyclable and non-recyclable stuffs. There were many like food, chocolates, and so on. As we are earth lovers and computer engineers, some of our team are students in computer science, artificial intelligence, and 2 members of our team are PhD students on automatics. We thought about why not making AI serve the Earth by developing a smart connected being.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ecoluvera. Let's continue, and now let's travel to Germany to meet green cool innovators.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Well, I think you cannot see my. Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
But you cannot see my video yet, right?
Yeah, we can see
now
you.
It's better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, hello everyone. I am Mohammed Al Aswad, CEO of Green Cool Innovators, and I would like to introduce our team. I have a background in cooling technology, aviation, and B2X research. Our COO, Mohammed Ita, brings engineering and leadership experience from Baker Hughes. Mohammed Farrokh is our technical expert with deep knowledge in cooling planet implementation. Abdurrahman Ainan, our finance planner, holds a 2 master's degree in mechanical engineering and finance. Today, with 130 million air-conditioned units across Europe and usage only in Germany jumped from 13% to 19% in just 1 year, These units release waste heat, rising local temperature by 1 to 2 degrees and lead increasing energy consumption in harmful loop. The challenge is clear: how we can eliminate or relocate this waste heat to reduce urban temperature, improve air quality, and cut energy use. Thank you.
Many thanks. So the next team is Heatbusters from Malta.
Hi, can you see me and hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, perfect. Just want to clarify, this isn't the pitch, right? It's just an intro introducing us.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, hi everyone, I'm Nick from Heatbusters. Our team was tasked with creating a solution to mitigate the effects of heat waves in Malta. And as a group, we decided to focus on urban areas as the most problematic spot. We have an international team with members from Turkey, Italy, France, and Malta. So we have a diverse range of expertise as well, from sustainability consultants, physics students. Myself, I'm an architect and product manager. And together we developed a solution to spread greenery throughout cities while reducing temperatures and combating the urban heat island effect. We basically came up with a solution for solar-powered green shaded benches to offer shade, reduce ambient temperatures, provide lighting, Wi-Fi, and other amenities. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Heatbusters. Let's meet now our next team. They are Heat Fighters, and they are from Greece. It seems you are muted.
Yeah. Now you can hear me, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, good afternoon. So we're the Heat Fighters. My name is Hippocrates. And also my teammates are Panayotis, and Nikolaos Apatiotis. We have a diverse background. I hold a master's degree on environmental policy making. Panayotis and Panayota are students at the University of West Attica. And Nikolaos Apatiotis, he's a researcher on economics and circular economy, mostly. So our solution is also focused on adapting the city of Athens to the effects of the urban heat islands and of the intensifying heat waves. And we came up with a solution of using nature-based solution, actually, for the roofs of the buildings of Athens, while also addressing energy poverty, since many buildings are poorly insulated, thus making citizens use more and more electricity to keep their homes cold enough.
Great. Thank you, Hippocrates, for Heat Fighters. And the next team is now the Hemp Sustain Builders from Hungary.
Hi. I'm Ani from Hemp Sustain Builders, and we started with the challenge of urban buildings that make people ill. During our project and analysis, we discovered that the construction and building operations are creating 40% of global greenhouse gas emissions. And despite the high market size of 1.34 trillion this year, just 3% of this is allocated to bio-based materials. And this we took like a signal for both a challenge and an opportunity. As we have the urgency to reduce the CO2 emissions in our communities, we investigated and we started to work on a platform to bring together the researchers, to bring together sustainable logistics, to bring together innovators and builders, and to adopt industrial hemp as a mainstream material. My colleagues are Evelyn, Associate Professor and PhD in Regional Development, Irem, which is citizen lawyer and a PhD candidate, Zahir, PhD in Sustainable Logistics Engineering, Ismaila, which is a student in biochemistry, and myself, I'm IT and finance professional, and I'm as well PhD student in administration.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much, HEM Sustain Builders. Let's meet our next team. They are Polycycle Homes, and they come from Bulgaria. Hello?
Hello.
No, hello.
Hi, my name is Valeria, and our team is high schoolers. I'm also with Nia Obretinova, Nia Svalova, and Sofia Sashko. Our researcher is Associate Professor PhD Vilana Ruseva, and we are working on the problem with non-recyclable plastic by creating energy efficiency isolation blocks by non-recyclable plastic.
Great, thank you so much, Polycycle Homes. And the next team to introduce the team and the challenge is Smoke Busters Alliance from Bulgaria. Do we have Nabil Atul?
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Hi, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Hello, so my name is Nabila Tusna, and I'm the spokesperson of Smoke Buster Alliance. So our team is addressing a major urban challenge, air pollution. Cities like Burgas in Bulgaria are facing declining air quality, which is impacting public health, raising healthcare costs, and reducing the overall quality of life for residents. So our team consists of one student from business management, Nurul Nabila, one accountancy student, Ilham Nazmi, and also one researcher from our university, Professor Milan Baltov, and me myself, economics and mathematics student. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Smoke Busters Alliance. Let's now go to Spain to meet Team Aquasmart.
Hi, do you hear me?
Yes.
We are actually not just from Spain. It's an international group of experts. Flor is from Spain. I'm from Slovenia. Franz is from Austria. Nabil is from Cyprus but lives in Saudi Arabia. Lawrence is from Dublin, and Ottilia is from Hungary. We were facing the problem of water scarcity on the Canary Islands, which is fighting with massive tourism, and we suggested the solution of installation of smart water meters and monitoring app that would actually monitor the consumption of water in the hospitality industry, which is the highest consumer of water. And this app would actually also manage grey water recycling and optimize the consumption, because hospitality is using 5 times more water than the inhabitants. We made a mock-up of the app and a prototype, a general solution that is not implemented on the Canary Islands yet. Thank you.
Thank you, Aquasmart. And the next team is Climate Risks Fighters from Romania.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Robert, and I'm representing the Climate Risks Fighters team. Our team is mostly made of students, including myself, Andrea, Alessio, and Radu, and also Mikla. We are studying to become engineers in various fields as animal husbandry and environmental protection. And we are guided by our 2 teachers that have various degrees in animal husbandry and nutrition, and also veterinary medicine. Our challenge is basically that the education surrounding climate risks is not at the level required in schools to make an impact and to change kids' views. So we proposed an easy solution and also a unique one. We proposed an app made especially for kids ranging from ages 10 to 11 years old. So basically it covers all the school cycles.
Great.
And that's basically it.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. So let's continue our travel all around Europe, and now let's meet Eat Green. They are from Latvia. Do we have Eat Green? Well, let's continue with the next. Yeah.
So the next one is Food Rescuers from Lithuania. If we can have Orestas.
Hello.
Hello.
So I am Orestas Nastalevičius, and our team mostly consists of Lithuanian high schoolers, and our researcher is Voice Dragomir. He is a professor at Bucharest University of Economic Studies. So as we are high schoolers, we are seeing these problems in school that they are wasting so much food waste and they don't have any tools. So we are developing a solution that will help them leverage their food waste quantities. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Food Rescuers. Let's continue now. And our next team, they are Green Team, and they come from France.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Thanks for hosting us. We are in Brussels today, and our solution is managed aquifer recharge. It is a significant solution to water challenges that Europe is facing, because what we do is offer a solution to the high agricultural consumption of water and the heavy pollution of pesticides in that water. So it is a way to capture rainwater and filter the water so that we can reuse it more sustainably. Our team consists of 2 professors, 2 doctors, and 1 Master of Engineering, as well as young students in nanotechnology, economics, and materials science. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Green Team. And the next team is Hydrocycle from Poland.
Hi, I'm Alexandra from Hydrocycle. So our challenge addresses the environmental contamination caused by agriculture, and we propose a holistic system including biosorption technologies, a web platform, and community innovation. Our team has a lot of backgrounds. There's architecture, environmental specialists, web developers, and someone who's currently developing biochar production in Ghana. So it's quite a wide range of people.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hydrocycle. Now we have Team Lagum. They are from Sweden. Hello.
We got the next.
Yeah.
So, do you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm Liliana. I'm representing Team Lagum. Lagum means in Sweden just the right amount. And I am going to present the team members, which is Champike, which was responsible for the experimental model of this solution, technical solution for food waste reduction. Then I have Anna, which is communication responsible for the whole team. I have myself responsible for the project management activities. And then I have Nicole, which is responsible for sustainable development, which will focus the project not only on the food reduction, but on the whole environment referring to sustainability.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lagum. And the next team is Pesticide Buster from Bulgaria.
Good evening, everybody. We are Pesticide Buster. We are international team, have diverse range background. Okay, let me introduce my team. Alina is from Romania. She is a final year PhD student and also junior research scientist in Bucharest University. And me, I have master graduate in engineering, in space engineering. And I am responsible for the technical lead of the system, managing the technical stuff of our problem and solution. And also Kitty is from Bulgaria. Yeah, Kitty is an undergraduate student and she is a project manager in managing the project between business model, canvas, and also the technical stuff. And also Hadia, she is responsible for financial modeling and implementation plan. She's from Jordan and I'm from Indonesia. Okay, our problem is actually to mitigate the harmful pesticides in food. Our challenge is to tackle in the topic of food safety, mitigating the presence of harmful pesticide in our food. The supply can pose serious health hazards. And our solution is actually to develop a rapid test paper-based diagnostic device to detect the biomarker to identify the wide range of disease by performing kind of electrochemical analysis, as well as to demonstrate the reliability of our electrochemical sensor. Right now, still in progress to the prototype for real testing.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's continue with the team Plimira from Greece.
Hello. We are actually an international team from Slovenia and Greece. We are tackling the challenge of increasing heavy rains and floods globally, which causes large damages, casualties, and costs to the built environment. So our solution offers a citizen app and solutions platform for decision makers and insurance companies to proactively engage citizens and prepare cities for urban resilience and safety. In our team, we have David, who is a spatial planner, landscape architect Barbara Kostanchek, and me, I'm an architect. And from Greece is Petros, who is a public administrator.
Many thanks, Plimira. So just to take 1 minute to say perhaps that while we say that Plimira is from Greece, we see that all of the teams are more or less international. And so the location actually means that they address a challenge which they have defined as very relevant to Greece. Okay, so the location that you hear is not that the team or all the members of the team come from the place, but really that the challenge is relevant to the place or the country. So just with this, I think we can go to the next team, which addresses a challenge in Italy, and is Netuniani.
Salve a tutti. We are the Netuniani. We are a multidisciplinary team, and in our team, Monica Salvia is a researcher in environmental monitoring, Agnese Bavuso focuses on urban water design, Caroline Doncor integrates sustainable practices with heritage preservation, I, Nicola Wolo, I have a PhD in Earth, Environment and Biodiversity, which is crucial for flood impact analysis, while Gustavo Chiquin, my colleague, adds experience in smart city development and IoT deployment for climate adaptation.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much, the Netuniani. Yep, okay, perfect, thank you. Thank you so much. So let's continue with our next team.
So, sorry, my colleague is gonna quickly describe the challenge.
Okay, sorry. Okay, please, yeah.
So, good afternoon to everyone. Our challenge addresses the increased risk of urban flooding due to climate changing, particularly in cities like Milan. floods endanger citizens' well-being, damage businesses, disrupt infrastructure and mobility, and threaten environmental health. In Lombardy, floods and associated landslides cost over 400 million euros in damages between 2013 to 2019. We invite you to discover how the Netuniani offers an adaptive solution to this urgent climate challenge.
Thank you. Thank you so much, the Netuniani. Okay, so let's continue with our next team. Their toys are green, and they address a challenge that is relevant for Spain. Do we have toys are green? Hello?
I think we can move to the next one and come back. So the next team is Valorisation, and they are addressing a challenge relative to Croatia.
Hello, I'm Frano from Veles Solutions. We are creating a machine learning model that trains itself to solve and create a solution for every form of flooding. Our team consists of a nuclear engineer, 2 computer scientists, and 1 machine learning expert. That's Veles Solutions.
Okay, great, thank you. Thank you so much, Veles Solutions. Our next team is Bertie Farm, and they are addressing a challenge that is relevant to Sweden.
Hi, I'm Pallav. I'm from Team Bertie Farm. I'm based in Finland, and we are students, doctoral students and undergraduate students from Sweden and Finland, and also research scientists. The challenge we're taking is increasing world population and food demand with decreasing arable land. So the modern farming solutions are available to address this, such as vertical farming, which is done without soil, insecticides, and fertilizers. But the current solutions are only available for big scale, or it only makes sense in big scales. Our solution aims to provide affordable, small-scale modern farming techniques to average citizen. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you, Bertie Farm. The next team is from Albania and is Flora Green Harvest Guardians.
Hello, from Flora. Our team mostly consists of 2 research scientists, PhD professors, of 2 biologists, a chemist, a specialist in tourism, forest specialist, and agricultural student. Our challenge, we came up as a team, is the creation of an information agricultural center in Vlora County, which will provide real-time information of all elements of air and soil, integrating at the same time advanced technology like artificial intelligence, like smart sensors, which will provide information of climate change, of temperature, of moisture, of subsurface hydrological maps, of diseases and insects. So this information center will provide and will improve mostly the agricultural economy throughout the country, encouraging in this way a rural life of women and returning also the young people to their lands. Thank you.
So much. It seems we have now the connection with It Green. Yeah.
Yes.
We cannot hear you. No. Let's try with Toys Are Green. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh yeah, good, great. Okay, hello. We are Teresa Green. We are a team of 4 friends from Spain and Taiwan. We have Carlos, a data science student, Rodrigo, a math and computer science student. We have Ji-Chen, an odontologist from Taiwan, and myself, Pablo, a startup founder and economic student. So we are deeply concerned about the habits of consumption, mainly focused in the toy industry. We think it's a huge problem. It's an industry that contaminates that produces more than 40 tons of plastic for every $1 million of revenue, and it has a market size in Europe of 3 billion euros per year. So that's huge contamination, and also it has a huge impact on future generations, and we want to address that, and tomorrow we are going to explain you how are we going to do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Teresa Green. Let's try again with It Green. Hello?
No, it's not correct.
No, it seems still. Okay, so let's continue. I think we have met all the teams. So, well, thank you to all our teams, and congratulations on your achievements so far. Your journey so far has been incredible, but this event is not the end of the journey. It is just a new stepping stone of many more to come as you continue to make an impact with your energy and innovative ideas. So thank you so much for participating, and thank you so much for being part of the initiative. So now let's turn to our invited speakers, please, Iphigenia.
Yes. Just one small thing to say that you can already put questions on Slido about the teams, but you can also wait to see the second part where you will learn more about the solutions and then introduce your questions in Slido, and we will have time to discuss with the teams in the next part of the session. But for the next part, I'm very happy to invite Francesco Molinari, who is joining us online, I think from Barcelona, and is going to tell us about knowledge valorization and how it can have an impact through citizen engagement. Francesco has been involved in many knowledge valorization projects with the involvement of citizens. So, Francesco, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Apologies for not being there with you. I hope my voice can be heard. I'm actually in a break of another conference I'm attending here in Barcelona, so there was an unavoidable clash. I was a speaker this morning in that conference. Having said that, I have a practical question. Should I share my own slides from my computer? So I will try doing that.
Can we please? Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now it should be possible for you to see my slides, and I have the confirmation because I see it also in my screen in front of me. So let me start and go very quickly because I have only limited time. So thanks again to the European Commission and the coordinating team of the EU Sparks for Climate project. I understand, because I was there earlier, that you are presenting before the results, you are presenting the teams, and so my main message goes to the teams that have been successful in this endeavor. I will mention some of the aspects I feel relevant for the work you are already doing so successfully in this project. I will start by the mandate I got from the European Commission to talk to you about knowledge valorization, which is a relatively new topic, but well-defined, luckily, which is not always the case for all policy topics, as the process of transforming the results of research and innovation actions into products, services, solutions, and policies that ultimately bring benefits to society. Having this definition in mind, and again, speaking to you guys who are in this workshop today, I tried to make examples of what research bringing benefit to society may be about. I don't know if you know this gentleman in person, no, but from his face, he was a very respected scientist in the first half of last century, and is everywhere known for the discovery of the vaccine against poliomyelitis, which is an illness which has been practically dismantled from all over the world, but it was at that time, in the mid of the last century, very impactful and with very heavy consequences on the lives of people. So this is undoubtedly, in my view, an example of research and later innovation which has brought societal benefits. There is also another gentleman I am happy to introduce you. Again, you may not know him. He was a Nobel laureate, an Italian guy, for inventing plastics, for inventing polypropylene, which has become again in the second half of last century one of the most popular and diffused materials all over the world. Again, when it was all started, I think there was no doubt that society would take enormous benefit from the adoption of materials which were lighter, less expensive, less impactful at that time on the environment, because they were making less usage of non-repletable resources like metals, for example. Now I believe, and I don't have a slide to show, but I think you all have in mind the situation of our oceans, for example. I think we might have a different opinion on that. The point I was also wanting to make is that there is another research and innovation outbreak which is worth exploration, and it has to do with the proliferation of AI-enabled solutions and applications. Incidentally, the right-hand side picture has been generated through AI in this case. What we might say is that we have some doubt on whether this research, if not appropriately driven, can bring benefits to the people that you see in front of you. So these three examples tells us that research and innovation are certainly more likely to benefit society where there are societal problems or challenges clearly brought to the forefront, like in the case of the vaccine against poliomyelitis. But the use that society does of these results may lead us to change our initial opinions, like in the case of plastics, because old solutions can also become new problems. And basically, like in the case of AI, we can't predict the use that can be made of those results in the future. Will all depend, or a lot of it will depend on ourselves. Now, very quickly, in going to the conclusions, this is the collection of sustainable development goals, one of the very few agreements that we can say unite all the countries of the world in a single perspective. And what this list of goals tells us is that humankind has still a lot to do to achieve results like zeroing hunger on Earth, but also reducing inequalities, bringing peace and justice, ensuring decent work conditions for everyone. The point is that in our current society, problems have become more and more wicked, the way they are defined in both literature and practice. So problems that don't have a single and straightforward and final solution, but problems that are really intertwined they cannot be easily disentangled from their connections with other problems and other implications, which can also be related to the early adoption of some solutions, like in the case of plastics or maybe artificial intelligence. So we might agree that research and innovation have even a more sound goal or role to play in modern times, which is to tackle the complexity of these wicked problems, which in many cases are so urgent that we have really no time to waste. This is the role that I envisage for people like you guys, with your ideas, your creativity, and also with the support of all the institutions, starting from the European Union, which are involved in the organization of an event like this. The hackathons, in my view, and I am finishing with this slide, are an extraordinary useful instrument for bringing R&D and innovation results to the holy grail of knowledge valorization. They can act, as you can see from this picture, which I don't have the time to comment, at all stages of the linear model, starting from applied research and ending up into successful deployment of products, services, and also policies. We know a lot about hackathons. We know that they have as positives that they bring a variety of different contributions, also from people who are not technology developers, and the time constraint of the event brings challenges, but also procures the fast generation of potential solution prototypes. Anyway, there are also negatives, and among these negatives, there is an unexplored area, which is the analysis of the behavioral impacts that participation in events like this can bring to the people themselves who took part either in the winning teams or in the organization or in the participation as attendees in those events. User satisfaction is currently evaluated at the end of each event. It is usually very high, but what we miss in this context is a deeper analysis on whether the changes induced by this participation and this user satisfaction can also survive to the event in itself and transform ourselves as participants or promoters or active deployers of solutions into more scrupulous and dedicated people to the interests of the environment, climate, and all the other wicked problems of our society. I'm really done. Thanks for your attention. And if there are any questions, I'm here to listen still for a while to what you will be doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Francesco, for these insightful ideas, and also for explaining how these knowledge valorization activities are so important and how hackathons can contribute as this initiative that we have implemented. Thank you. Thank you so much. In case from the audience we have any question, please, in case you have a question, please share it via Slido, as we said. So you can use the link, you can use the QR, and we will share this question also with our speakers. So let's continue now with our next speaker. He is Anthony Zacharzewski. He is the president of the Democratic Society, which he co-founded in 2006, and he has been the president of since 2010. The Democratic Society plays a key role in Net Zero Cities, which is the platform on the EU mission on climate neutral and smart cities. He will talk about how citizen engagement is a core component within the EU missions. So please, Anthony.
Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who's participated. In a small room near the Schumann roundabout, talking to a relatively empty room with all of you fantastic innovators out there in Europe. But I wanted to say, first, thank you for all of the time that you've put in on your innovations and on your ideas, but also to say that 15 years ago when I set up DemSoc, one of our first projects was a civic hackathon in Brighton, which is the city where we started on the south coast of England. And some of those ideas are still going today, and they've stuck with me as brilliant examples of how people coming together can come up with fantastic ideas. The one that really stands out in my memory is called Gig Buddies, and it was a system whereby people who had learning disabilities, who had curfews at 9 o'clock because the city council's caring service closed down then, and that's when their night started, could find people who could be trained up so that they could accompany people with learning disabilities to gigs, so that they could go and they could find someone who could accompany them, stay out till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and had the training and the support to get them home and to get them safely secure for the night. And that was a really fantastic example of how a rock band and a civic innovation hackathon could come together to make life better for people. And one of the other things I think it's worth saying about that work is that it is absolutely in the core work of what we do at Democratic Society, because the work of citizenship, the work of being active in your community, and the work of making things happen, even if only in a small way, even if only in the way that you think is best, that's absolutely at the core of democracy. Voting, elections, we've got one coming up on Sunday, all of these things are really important. But what's most important is making a commitment to the place where you live and making a commitment to the world that you live in. So thank you. I also want to say that it's the heart of the city's mission and the EU missions in general for these sorts of activities to happen. Because, as my team are absolutely sick of hearing me say, the missions are not projects, they're missions. And the point about missions is that you bring a huge number of people together, you bring all of their interests, you bring the things that they care about, and you show them the direction of travel. You show them this is the thing that we can get to if we work together. And for that, citizen engagement, the work that we do every day at Democratic Society, is absolutely essential. It's essential for two reasons. First, because you need to make sure that there is social support for what's happening when climate change is bringing lots of pressure on democracies and lots of pressure on societies, and when some of the challenges and some of the solutions are not easy. They are not things that everyone will agree on. So you have to have the traditional, as it were, citizen engagement. You have to have political parties working with citizens, you have to have elections, you have to have consultations. But you also need something else. You need something that is about innovation and about opening up the conversation to make sure that citizens can be in that conversation for the long term. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The first is that citizen engagement for the long term works when you're dealing with problems for the long term. And climate change is a problem for the long term. We've had a few climate assemblies around Europe in recent years. We've had them at European level, we've had them at local level, we've had them at national level. And they're really good ways of bringing citizen voices together, helping people look at some of the difficult trade-offs, helping people understand what's going on, and then come to solutions and recommendations. But they're not enough. Because in 5 or 10 years' time, we'll still be implementing the things that come out of those recommendations. We'll still be working on those issues. And someone who doesn't agree with that in 10 years' time is not going to agree with any the more if you say to them, oh, well, some citizens 10 years ago thought it was a good idea, so we're just going to do it. The other reason is, as we all see around us, particularly after the elections in June, politics happens. People change, people move jobs, people get promotions, people move towns. Citizens holding the mission in a place and citizens holding the mission across Europe can hold that mission across all of the changes of organizational structure, of personnel, of political control. That doesn't mean to say it has to stay the same forever. In fact, good citizen engagement will keep reviewing, will keep revisiting some of the questions that are being asked to make sure that even as situations change, as we move down the path, then citizens can be involved in changing policies and changing practices. 112 cities across Europe have made the commitment to reach net zero by 2030. It's a really hard challenge for everyone. And it's a particularly hard challenge for those cities that don't have a long tradition of involving citizens and involving civil society. So we're working in places like Sarajevo, which I don't need to tell you has a really difficult history, but also a really committed city government to build a citizen assembly and a citizen participation process that can bring together all of the complicated civic structures in Sarajevo behind a common goal of creating a shared narrative on climate change. But in other places, like in Nantes, which is one of the leading participation cities in Europe, won the Eurocities Prize for it a couple of years ago, we are also working, because the mission is not just about helping people get better, not about a deficit model that says, oh, you're not doing this very well, let's come and help. It's also about an asset-based model. It's about saying, what are you doing brilliantly that you can share with others? What can we learn from all of the things that you're working on? And so in the context of Nantes, where they have really deep citizen engagement and where they've had that over several years under the leadership of the mayor and the leadership of the council, we are working to both to get their practices even further forward, to help them make even more impact with citizen voice, but also to make sure that their ideas are being shared right the way across the 112 cities in the mission, but also the hundreds more cities, mission-minded cities that want to do the same sort of thing. Maybe not on the same timetable, but are certainly all trying to move in the same direction. The political and personnel changes that we see, whether it comes from someone moving jobs or whether it comes from a political change, are absolutely essential to be, we have to respect them. We can't say, that's just something that we're just going to ignore and plough through. But we also need to understand that as the world changes and as society changes and as the pressure of climate change starts to build around Europe, we need more and more innovative solutions. So it's fantastic to see that the hackathon entries, the finalists that we have here today, are looking at the things that they care about, but are also being joined up by the European Union, by the European Commission, into a bigger programme, a bigger set of ideas, and driving that idea forward. And that's where I think we can really make something happen in an area which sounds a bit like a political science, a bit political sciencey, but it's actually really important, which is multi-level governance. Now, what that means is the ideas that you're working on in the hackathon, the individual things that you're doing, they'll have an effect where you are. But they can also have an effect elsewhere in Europe, and they can teach the rest of Europe, they can teach governing organisations, other decision makers, what they can do differently. And that's where the power of Europe to bring people together and the power of the missions to show that it's not just about top-down action, it's also about bottom-up action. That's why that's so important. And so for me, I'm absolutely delighted to be here, to be able to speak to you even if remotely, but also to respect the fact that you are out there all over Europe in the huge number of communities that are working together on climate change and in the groups of innovators, local, national, European, working on social issues, working on technological issues to move these ideas forward. And I would just say, when you are developing your ideas out, when you are thinking further, make sure that you engage with the civil society organisations who are next to you, the civil society organisations who are doing something that's a little bit the same, but not quite the same, that you may not think of talking to. Because if you look across from side to side in the place where you are, or in the places where you are, if you're in a network team, you will often find people who can give you some connection, some ideas, some thoughts, and also, most importantly, access to citizens and communities that can make your ideas stronger and that can make the mission model, the idea of joining up all of these efforts at ground level and seeking a response from the European, national and regional levels, that can make that really work. So everyone who's into this competition has made a contribution, but most importantly, they've given their passion and their ideas. As someone who set up an NGO, I absolutely know how amazing that is and how hard it is. So thank you very much. Good luck with the forward motion in your work. Good luck with going on together, but make sure you go along with communities and with citizens as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anthony. That was great, and it worked so much better than with the slides of Francesco, where we had a little bit of a delay. Sorry about that. We have one question for Francesco, and we have one question for Anthony. Let's start with Francesco. Francesco, are you still with us? Or?
Yes, can you hear me again?
So we have one question for you, which is, how can we ensure that solutions developed in hackathons are brought to market?
Investing on the process. There is a lot of evidence already saying that it's not only what happens during the hackathon, but also before and especially afterwards. This is something neglected in some cases, but it has to be reconciled and embedded in the full concept of designing and implementing a hackathon. Otherwise, I'm not speaking of the least successful prototypes, but those that show the seeds of a potentially interesting product or service. They should be accompanied to a later stage by the same people or institutions that have organized the hackathon. Beware, this is something that happens routinely in the private sector. When a large enterprise launches a coding marathon, I prefer calling it in this way because it keeps the distinction with what you have so beautifully done in this project. When it is only about gathering ICT developers to do marathons of coding and accelerate the pace of delivering new products in the ICT sector, this is not something that stops at the very end of the event. It continues, at least for the most successful teams, with a supplementary engagement in the next weeks and months. A similar model has indeed been tested in some projects funded by the European Union as far as public services are concerned. Now the new challenge is to make a step forward and also deal with solutions that may have a long-term impact on climate-related issues, as Anthony was saying right before me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francesco. Wonderful. And Anthony, there is a question for you. I think it's more, I think you will agree with that, so maybe it's more of a comment, but please. Empowered citizens sitting at the table, co-creating solutions for their own future, isn't it the ultimate expression of democracy? Comes from the audience. And maybe, I can also ask you how this, the democracy part and the innovation part come together, and what kind of models you think are up?
It's a really interesting question, and thank you very much for the question, whoever asked it online. I think at the moment we are seeing a lot of conversation about the security of democracy and the defense of democracy, and as a Democrat I think that's really important. But for me, the importance of innovation in democracy is to make sure that what we are defending is something that can move with the times. If we take a purely defensive attitude, we end up in a very static position, defending a status quo which for some people, they're pretty unhappy with. So I think the innovation part alongside the defense part is really important. And when it comes to innovation, that can be really small. Incremental innovation in the way in which we do participatory budgeting, citizen engagement, all citizen consultations, all of the things that have been happening for years and years, that's just as important as new political parties or new movements or big new initiatives using AI. I think in the context of the hackathons and of the Sparks, I do feel like one of the things we look for in democracy is agency. The sense that we have a vision of the world, we want to do something to make the world a little bit more like the world we imagine it could be. And sometimes people do that by joining government organizations. That's what I did when I was 24. Right? I joined a government organization which is like a vast machine, and you work in a tiny, tiny part of it, and you move the tiny, tiny part of it a tiny, tiny bit forward, but the machine is so vast that it has a big effect. And then I stopped, I did something totally different, which is trying to do something around democratic innovation in a small organization. And a small organization, you can go as far as you like, as quickly as you like, but the impact that you have can be much less. So there's all sorts of choices we can make about how we innovate in democracy and how we innovate in society. And for me, the most important part is making sure that both the big machine of government and the small innovators are talking to each other, but also that we're creating mechanisms that prevent government from being captured by those within the magic circle and are open to all sorts of voices. And the work that we do is as much about creating the spaces for people to come together and talk to government as it is helping governments and citizens understand what they can learn from each other and building the cultures, the skills and the confidence to make that happen. And so that's my view of what democratic innovation could be.
Thank you so much. And I wish we had invited you from the beginning of the hackathon to explain all this and give inspiration to people. But I think we have quite a lot of inspiration as well. Many thanks. So the next session, Laura, please come and. So next we have a panel, and Laura, please you take over.
Thank you so much, Iphigenia. We are moving now to one of the two missions that are covered under this hackathon, and it's the mission on climate neutral and smart cities. We don't have yet a climate neutral city in Europe. Can you believe that? At least not a documented one. And so our mission wants to change that. We aim to create 100 climate neutral and smart cities by 2030 and use those cities as models for all European cities to become neutral by the deadline, the horizon of the European Green Deal, which is 2050. So we're talking a lot on the mission about transport, about built environment, about energy. We're talking a lot about urban infrastructure, but at the same time, what we are truly talking about is about the infrastructure of our urban lives. What kind of air we breathe, the noise level we experience, how comfortable our homes are, how safe, expensive or inexpensive our energy sources are, how we move inside our cities, how active our mobility is, and in the weekends or after we finish our work time, how do we interact with our friends, family, and community? Do we have green spaces? Do we have public, pleasant public spaces where we can all do that and enjoy indeed our cities as a community on a personal level, on a family level, as professionals, and so on. But, of course, I'm going to be very passionate about this because I've been working on it for the last 5 years. So I'm going to bring in a more impartial advisor, and that would be Jorn Werbeck, an expert who is joining us today. He has seen citizen engagement in the mission from many perspectives. He has worked in the public sector, in the private sector. He has been a consultant for cities, but has also worked at the umbrella organization of Global Covenant of Mayors. So Jorn, what is your vision on this?
That's a long introduction, Laura, and thanks for that. And I think, first of all, I was happy to hear the words of Anthony. I think they really resonated in a way that, of course, it's all about the future of Europe and the future of how we live, how we love, how we raise children. And I think we all have to admit that our society has become really complex. And important there is that what we often say, but what we need to put into practice is we can't do this alone. We can't just look at policymaker. We can't just look at saying, well, it's the private sector who needs to pay. It's really how do we embrace that complexity and how do we involve citizens in that journey? If we can go to the next slide, I'm happy to just take you with me. Just skip a few slides, otherwise it will take too long. And go to the next one. Next one. You can go a bit further. I'll say stop. Yeah, stop there. I think important, if you look at that complexity, go one slide back, we often talk indeed about the infrastructure. If we talk about energy, if we talk about the built environment, if we talk about mobility, but at the core of that, it's all about citizens. How do we use a city? How do we travel to work? How do we renovate our homes? How do we use energy, water, and other utilities? And I think, therefore, it's important to really involve citizens to understand when does the policy really create an impact on the ground, but how can also policies and the interaction between public and private partners, top-down and bottom-up, be really improved. And I think to have that constant feedback, to have citizens at the core that can talk to friends, to family, that can explain policy to a diversity of people. We often use these kind of bureaucratic language. And I think it's key if we want to see an uptake, if we want to see the future coming to life, that citizens can help to say, this is what the future could be in a language, in words that people can understand, but they also can be empowered to help shape that future, that they can take it into their hand and say, hey, this is what we can help with to create those partnerships, to really drive impact, to see what's happening on the ground, and to also help policy, to help these multi-actor partnerships really to scale up. And I think for me, the most important point, if I look back at these last couple of years, how do we go back from a more individualized society to, again, more communities, to collective action? Where do we connect again? Where do we see that if we talk about scaling, it's not just a magic trick. It's really thinking on how do we connect as human beings. Of course, we're professionals and we bring professional expertise, but when we go home, we're just humans. We're mums and dads and we're families and we're friends. How do we use that collective glue and energy again to look at those solutions that are created in a bottom-up way, but that need to be scaled in a way that people understand, that people can embrace, and that gives a bit of energy to say, hey, this is our common future. We need to do this together. And that requires not only the insight, but also just the hands and the heads to make it happen. So I think asking about that experience, that would for me be the key lesson, to go to that more collective and community action to make this come to life.
Thank you so much.
And happy to leave it there and not to show like 10 odd slides to you, but to really tap into the hearts and minds and to make sure that, yeah, we create this into a joint initiative.
Thank you so much, Jorn, and I will continue on your point that indeed the city's mission in the last 2.5 years has become not only a professional community, but also a personal community where we exchange with each other, when we build on each other's ideas. And I'm very glad to see that also during EU Sparks, the same has happened, just looking at the diversity of the teams that were presented to us earlier. Well, that provides me with a perfect bridge to move now at the presentation of the first 13 submitted proposals. Many of them are linked to the core activities of the city's mission, but of course we also have others who cross the boundaries of cities and go into other sectors of activities or overlap, for instance, with the activities that are undertaken under the mission adaptation. So without further ado, let's see the first 13 sparks.
Imagine a world where food packaging leaves no trace, where waste becomes a resource. Hello, we are Team Allium and we are addressing two major global problems, plastic waste and food waste. Every year, the world generates 400 million tons of plastic waste and 1.3 billion tons of food waste. These issues have a massive impact on the environment, public health, and economies. Our solution is a fully biodegradable packaging material made from onion biowaste. This innovative packaging can replace plastic while extending the shelf life of fruit and vegetables up to 14 days. It is antimicrobial and odorless, free from harmful chemicals, and completely biodegradable, which promotes circular economy principles. We transform the waste to a fully functioning packaging, starting with initial mechanical preparation, followed by bioprocessing, compression, and development of the final product. We will collect the onion waste from local farmers and businesses producing food products to be more sustainable. Allium will be distributed to food businesses by the idea of B2B partnership. The development will have economic, social, and environmental impact. Our solution is a great example of the circular economy model exploitation of natural resources. For successful development of allium packaging, our team collects experts from several fields, covering biotechnology, chemistry, and material sciences, but also certification and legislation of food packaging. Choose green, pack clean, and go sustainable with allium.
Everyone, my name is Muhammed Oğuzhan Mete. I am one of the team members of B-Energy. We propose efficient twin projects, and our motto is build sustainable energy efficient cities with GeoAI. So the building sector is major carbon dioxide emitter, and we propose a solution for mitigating climate change effects to build sustainable smart cities using digital twin-based GeoAI tools. So we have a system architecture consists of data layer, analysis layer, and application layer. We will utilize from openly licensed energy-related data sources, and we will process it in analysis layer using geographic information system and machine learning. And we will create GeoAI-based energy efficiency model, and we will visualize it on digital twin platform for citizens to monitor their current energy efficiency and recommendations about how to improve it on gamification platform. Thank you for listening.
Imagine navigating your city with confidence, effortlessly avoiding harmful environments while discovering safe, enjoyable spaces tailored to your needs. Welcome to City Layers, a cutting-edge collaborative mapping tool designed for responsive city making that empowers citizens to shape their urban experience. As urban areas face rising temperatures, pollution, and a growing population, vulnerable communities comprising of 45% of residents struggle in their needs to access critical information to lead healthy lives. City Layers is designed for everyone: citizens seeking safer routes, businesses in need of real-time location insights, and city planners striving for more effective community engagement. What sets us apart is the unique ability to merge subjective community knowledge with existing urban data, creating a comprehensive, multi-layered map. This approach not only informs, but actively addresses urban vulnerabilities, enhancing the quality of life for all. Join us in our collaborative mapping for responsive city making. With City Layers, we can increase the quality of physical and mental health, enhance the use of public spaces, and promote more inclusive and responsive urban planning.
Did you know that heat-related deaths reached over 8,000 last year in Spain, and that by 2100 they could multiply by 5? Spain is the second European country with the most heat-related deaths, especially in the south, where elderly residents face health risks and isolation. Here's how to tackle this issue. Cool Shade Solution provides a cooling shaded refugee that also fosters social interaction and enhances the quality of life for citizens. So, how does it work? Well, our solar-powered canopies features a clever system that turns air humidity into water to nourish plants and power sprinklers, all while being fully self-sufficient with solar panels located on the roof. It offers an appealing solution, drawing people in due to the increasing need for cool and safe spaces. This reduces the need for heavy marketing and fosters community commitment. What sets us apart is a deep commitment to sustainability. We use eco-friendly materials, cut down on waste through AR technology before the construction process, and source everything locally. We're not just tackling heat and isolation, we're also making cities greener by enhancing air quality and driving meaningful environmental change. We're excited to set up prototypes in Sevilla to demonstrate their impact and gather feedback. Let's discuss how we can move forward with these prototypes and explore collaboration opportunities to bring this solution to our community.
We are the ICE, and we're on a mission to reduce Europe's reliance on internal combustion engines by introducing a battery standard for micromobility vehicles. Currently, transport accounts for 25% of Europe's CO2 emissions. While the EU plans to electrify cars, it will take decades. Switching to micromobility vehicles like electric bicycles or scooters offers a much quicker solution, but their adoption is slowed by unsustainable and expensive battery designs. Now, manufacturers are using proprietary batteries. This drives up waste and makes recycling practically impossible. So we propose a unified and repairable battery standard that will reduce costs and make recycling economically viable. We'll test this through a pilot project at our university and then scale it through manufacturers through licensing. We have validated our idea by reading countless research papers and talking with experts at Riga Technical University. We'll begin our pilot project soon. With the right support, we will have our first customers by the summer of 2026. If we're successful, we can reduce battery carbon footprints by 70%. The ICE will have a huge impact on society. The convenience of our battery swapping stations will incentivize citizens to switch to greener modes of transport all over the EU. Additionally, the open source nature of our standard means we can disseminate it across Europe easily. Join us in revolutionizing micromobility. Let's make greener transport a reality today.
Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about a critical climate problem that needs to be addressed. Heat islands. Heat islands make us suffer. Heat islands build up in cities, they have a higher energy consumption, they increase the heat further, and use more electricity by rising the heat in cities overall. All citizens in urban areas suffer from heat islands. We need to move hot air out without using energy. Our mission is to develop and introduce a passive cooling system that reduces this heat island effect in a supplementary degree. Now, our solution. Our solution builds up and modernizes on an ancient technology called wind catchers by using two new technologies called the solar chimney and the Bernoulli principle. Now, our solution has a lot of benefits, including being cost efficient, being completely energy free, silent, maintenance free, environmentally friendly, long-term sustainable, cooling the environment and indoors, helping reduce global warming, and having a very open and growing market. Are you okay with citizens dealing with heat? If not, join us on building the new way of passive cooling. Thank you everyone for listening to my elevator pitch video.
Hello, my name is Ángel. We are a Colvera team from University of Lille. Do you know that in 2021, France generated 2.2 million tons of plastic packaging waste? However, only 27 was recycled according to your estimate. As a citizen, we must take an action to restore environment and improve quality of life. At Colvera, we are revolutionizing recycling with artificial intelligence, AI, for cleaner, greener, and smarter future. We will install AI-powered smart bin in 200 neighborhoods and 150 fast food restaurants each year. Our smart bin can automatically sort plastics, carton, glasses, as well as biodegradables. Additionally, we will collaborate with municipalities to launch an app for the citizen engagement. This will make recycling more easier. Together, we can make a difference.
Hello everyone, we are the Green Cool Innovators. Where others see waste, we see power. Cool Terra is our solution name, which comes from the cooling function, followed by Terra, which means the earth in Latin, the place where the sustainability is the key. Currently, the earth is facing climate change that affects the temperature, and that means cooling system demands will get higher, leading to higher emissions and electricity consumption. Therefore, our solution is to build a cooling plant that consists of chillers to supply cold water to the existing heating district grids infrastructure to supply the cooled water to the houses, commercial offices, and industrial buildings. Moreover, we are planning also to build large and small ice storage tanks to store the cold water during the cheap prices and use it in the expensive period of times. The absorbed and returned water is actually planned to be regenerated at 80 degrees to be supplied to the industries that require higher temperature, such as food processing. That's why we see the waste as power. With our solution, we are planning to reduce the energy consumption by 20%, 40% reduction in the greenhouse gases is the case, and 45% reduction in the investment cost. It's not only about numerical figures, but it's also about modernization, consistency, less noise, and efficient solution. That was a 90-second. Thanks for watching.
Imagine a city where temperatures soar up to 10 degrees Celsius higher than surrounding areas, increasing mortality more than all other natural disasters combined, and significantly driving up energy costs. This is the reality of the urban heat island effect, an urgent issue that affects millions of city dwellers around the world. At Heatbusters, we've developed an innovative solution: solar-powered, green-shaded benches. These aren't just benches, though. the revolutionary approach to cooling our cities effectively. Our benches provide crucial shade, reduce ambient temperatures, and harness solar energy to power public amenities like lighting and Wi-Fi. Join us in transforming urban landscapes into cooler, sustainable environments. With Heat Busters, we're not just fighting heat, we're building the future of urban living. Thank you.
Greetings, we are the heat fighters. We have been addressed with facing the heat waves in Athens. This is crucial since there have been victims of heat exhaustion. The mortality rate associated with excess heat in Greece is around 400 per million. This shouldn't be so surprising since in a square in Athens we can see the road is reaching over 100 degrees Celsius, while the part of the square which is covered in greenery does not surpass 30 degrees Celsius. For this reason, we have decided to create an agency that specializes in transforming roofs as temperatures go through the roof. To be more precise, we will be installing green roofs all around the city as they can reduce high temperatures and heat waves. It can also lower the energy cost of customers and reduce indoor temperature while also purifying the air. This is our solution. We have thought about it and now we will change Athens.
Hi, I'm Annie from Hemp Sustain Builders. You remember I was showing you the piece of isolation made out of hemp. At Hemp Sustain Builders, we are creating a centralized platform to revolutionize the construction industry by promoting industrial hemp as a sustainable, carbon-negative building material. Our platform brings together architects, researchers, policymakers, and farmers to share research, best practice, and regulatory updates. By providing tools, expert insights, and a collaborative space, we empower professionals to adopt eco-friendly construction methods, reduce their carbon footprint, and foster regional economies. In a world demanding sustainability, we make industrial hemp the foundation for building the future. Please join us. Thank you very much.
Imagine turning the billions of tons of plastic waste polluting our planet into valuable building materials. Because Polycycle Homes transforms unrecyclable plastic waste into eco-friendly installation blocks. This not only addresses plastic pollution, but also boosts energy efficiency in construction. Plastic waste is a severe global issue. Each year, 62% of plastic produced is unrecyclable and ends up contaminating our oceans, landfills, and ecosystems. Our installation blocks are ideal for construction companies, eco-concessions homeowners, and sustainable development agencies. By chemical decomposition to polymers and suitable additives such as fluorocarbon, polyurethane, and others, we reformulate them. Our blocks are unique for their sustainable production from non-recyclable plastics, offering a cost-effective and energy-efficient alternative to conventional materials. With only 9% of plastic waste currently recycled and the green construction market set to grow to $610 billion by 2025, our solution meets a critical need. Let's turn plastic waste into a resource with Polycycle Homes.
Hello, I'm Nabila Tuhusna and I'm leading a team to address the urgent issue of air pollution in Burgas, Bulgaria. Poor air quality is affecting public health and environment, and current solutions are enough. That's why we have developed an innovative approach, air purifying unit designed as rose-shaped structures representing the beauty of Bulgaria. This unit, inspired by Singapore's super trees, incorporate advanced air filtration technology, solar panels, IoT system for real-time monitoring and rainwater harvesting, making them both functional and sustainable. So we are planning to partner with key stakeholders such as local governments, environmental agencies, and urban developers for strategic deployment of this unit across the city. Additionally, we are in discussion with Pottaki, a company specializing in photosynthesis enhancers, to integrate their technology into our unit to boost air purification capacity. Our team consists of business management expert, a financial director, a researcher, a town planner, and engineer, bringing together the right mix of skills to make this project a success. So we are seeking €500,000 in funding to launch our pilot project in Burgas with the goal of expanding across Europe after 2 years of successful implementation. Together, we can improve air quality, boost tourism, and create a more sustainable city. So, join us in making a real impact on urban air pollution.
Much to the 13 solutions that we have seen so far. It was very inspiring to me to see how they blended their professional knowledge, but also their lived experience of being a city inhabitant. I think many of us, as we move through cities, we might notice things and we say to ourselves, if only this could be changed, or I wish things were different in a way, but not so many of us maybe take the next step of putting that idea on paper or in pixels. So thank you again for not only doing that, but for also opening a conversation with people that you've probably never met before and that are now part of these teams that generated the solutions. Jorn, maybe a few reactions on your side and advice for the solutions.
Well, I'm quite jealous, to be honest. Often we're in the more heady intellectual part, and if you see the enthusiasm of all the teams, of all the initiatives, I think it's really inspiring. And I think I was wondering, this could be a really good contender if we ever look for an alternative for Eurovision, just to see like, hey, what is possible from all parts of Europe. It would almost be a shame to choose in between of all these initiatives, and I know it's a hackathon and it's a competition, but I mean, almost all initiatives are no-brainers. And then the question that we should ask is, what are the constraints? Are they legal? Are they financial? But all of the things that have been presented, you would say, like, come and install them in my city tomorrow. If you ask about advice, I think it would be good, as there are some similar initiatives, how we can bring them together so that they can also cross-learn from each other and make the proposal even stronger. But I think it's really good for me to see that all the teams have been working on both citizen involvement, looping in research, education, technology, all of these different elements, which makes also the initiative much stronger. And I think just by showing these examples, I think there's many people online or people in the weeks to come that might think, hey, I've been working or thinking about this. Why not indeed, as you said, Laura, take a piece of paper and start drafting a business plan, a value plan to make this happen. And I think that's where the hackathon becomes really important, that we really empower people to come with ideas and that we on our side help them to make them come to life. But congratulations to all the teams that have been presenting.
Thank you, Jorn. And on that note, I will now pass the floor to our sister mission, the Adaptation to Climate Change mission. Federico, to you now.
Thank you for inviting us also as part of Mission Adaptation for this important event. Let me just start by maybe bringing out there the problem that we are facing. Climate change is already here. Summer 2024 was the hottest summer on record. 2023 summer was actually as well the hottest year on record up until that moment. We can see the effects of climate change all over the news this year. We can talk about, for example, the floods in Germany and in Central Europe, the forest fires in Northern Europe, heat waves and droughts in Southern Europe, for example, in Italy and Greece. This climate risk will continue to be here, even if we were to stop emissions today or tomorrow or in 2 hours. So helping local authorities in this context means not only giving them financial resources, money, but also try to change and help a systemic approach when it comes to really addressing these climate risks. So to put it quite simply, we need solutions. And the key word here today for the missions, all the mission is solutions, innovative solutions that we might not have today or that we might have and we're not deploying enough or efficiently. Collectively, and that's the idea of the city's mission, of mission adaptation, and also together of this hackathon, is that if we pool our resources, our knowledge, our creativity, we can actually get there to face those risks that I mentioned before. And we can do it. And that's why, and this is what the mission, really, mission adaptation is all about. We have a dedicated budget, of course, under Horizon Europe to test, deploy, scale up solutions that can help local and regional authorities to face the climate risks that they might have or they will have in the future. So we want to help at least 150 of those regions and local authorities in Europe and beyond as part of Horizon Europe's. Another point that I wanted to maybe stress for your information is that when we do so, we try always to ensure that those solutions are developed in an inclusive way, because from our perspective, citizens are not only, of course, the beneficiaries, because everything at the end of the day is really to improve the life of citizens, you, us, all of us together, but it's really also about understanding that from citizens you can also get ideas on how to really address the common challenges that we face. So mission adaptation and the hackathon today are really working towards the same goal, and we are very proud to be here today and part of this competition. We look forward now in a few minutes to hear a little bit more about the projects in place. But before, I would say let's continue to quickly discuss, let's say, the citizen level part of the engagement of mission adaptation, what we are doing actually to engage you that are hearing us today from home. We have online now today Elena Lopez-Gan. She's the founder and director of iCatalyst. iCatalyst is a research company that specializes really on citizen engagement and specifically in the context of the mission adaptation implementation platform called Me4Adapt. They are responsible for the citizen mobilization aspects of our implementation platform and part of the work of the mission. So Elena at the same time is speaking on the basis and the capacity of advisor for the EU adaptation parts and elements of the EU Sparks initiative. So she has this double hat that will be nice to play out today in the course of a presentation. So Elena, welcome. Thank you for being here, and the floor is yours for your presentation on the citizen level aspect of engaging on climate adaptation in the EU and beyond. Thank you.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Good. Yeah. So maybe I think the presentation is loaded with the organizers. So I think that might be quicker. A bit like Jan did. If you could project it, then I'll just say next. Yeah, but I'll start by saying that it's been very exciting to listen to all of you. I think it gives me hope that I think together we can actually fix this very complex and wicked problem as it was presented earlier on by the first speaker. So if we could go next. Okay, so basically what I'm going to say is I'm going to very quickly introduce you to the work that we're doing in the context of the mission adaptation. And I think it's very important that we shake hands with the mission on cities. I think increasingly we need to do both together, because as I say, the best adaptation is actually to do a good mitigation policy. This is what I'm projecting here is basically the heart of the kind of framework that we are using within the mission adaptation, where basically we start by saying that conceptually we need to communicate really well, to basically engage others into this very collective problem, as it was raised earlier by Jan. Together, I think we can get a lot further, and it motivates all of us. So we need to communicate. It will connect across communities, and then finally, and I think this is the key word, we would actually enable action. So if we could project the next slide. Okay, so basically, we need to understand, that citizens, and I think climate change is particularly difficult because we need to really touch people's hearts and minds. I think it was mentioned earlier, by the Director of Democratic Society. People at the moment, they have eco anxiety, they're worried. And I think your solutions that you've been presenting, and I'm looking forward to hearing to the next bunch, really show that things can be done. And I think this is very important in a way to bring hope, that in a way within this risk that we have, this shared risk with climate change, there are also opportunities for innovation. And I think particularly for, people with clever ideas like the ones we've been hearing already. Next. Okay, so basically, I think, in a way, the message is that, in a way, with effective communication, so I really encourage you to basically really go ahead and communicate your solutions, find the funders, find allies into your, to deploy your solutions as quickly as possible. So you mobilize yourself and others and, in a way, ensure that communities can actually participate. This engagement, I think, is critical because as we move forward, as we can see now with the elections that are happening across Europe, we have to build this social cohesion because we have a huge problem at the moment with disinformation. Next. I think we have some problems with it. Yeah, okay. So what I wanted to share with you here is something that, in a way, I look forward to including some of your solutions in this manual. Is this a manual that we've shared with regions across Europe? It's a manual we developed for the 308 regions that have signed up to the mission adaptation. We're working now hand to hand with cities and regions that are really trying to prepare, as you were showing, to heat waves. They're preparing for drought. I come from Spain, like other people or some of the other teams. We have a big problem with drought. As you know, if you live in countries like Austria, Czech Republic, floods are really becoming a problem. And yet we think that citizens are going to be very, much needed to help regions, which have these very challenging times ahead, kind of go faster and adapt faster. So I'll put them in a moment. I'll put in the link to the manual so you can actually check it for yourself. And as I say, we look forward to including hackathons, and even some of these solutions, will be very important. Next. And I wanted to show you now some examples of what we've done. So if we go to the previous one, I think it's going to be fast. Okay, so we're now doing what we call community level events, and we've had a few across Europe. We're hoping to have more. So for example, if we look at the next slide, we already had one in Ireland, in Galway, where they had like a kind of climate festival, and and this to me also shows what probably I'm just thinking even in your local cities, thinking of the mission of cities or even in your region, try to approach others, to persuade them to kind of take your solution up, and maybe see if maybe in the context of the mission adaptation, we could have a community level event where we try to showcase your solution. I'm just giving some ideas. Next one. Okay, and this one is one that I'm particularly proud of because here we basically ensured that the highest level political appointees in the region were talking directly to youth in the region who had actually held a youth assembly in the region, and they were basically having this dialogue one-to-one to basically try to see how youth can actually get engaged into which is really what was mentioned before about this deliberative democracy. In fact, when we have a democratic crisis, what I believe is we need more democracy, not less. And that means more spaces where we can actually exchange. And I think that's why I think at the core of Europe and our values is the role of citizens. So again, I really congratulate you on all the solutions that you've presented. Next, because I'm coming to the end. Okay, so then we still have some coming up. This is one that is going to be held in Portugal quite soon. And we will also have one actually hosted in in Jerez, in the south of Spain, kind of really pushed by the region. So I think this is where you can find allies in your local authorities, as it was mentioned earlier by Laura and Jan, cities, mission cities, but you also have mission regions. So go up to them and tell them about your solutions, because they will be looking for these solutions. And then I think the next slide. Okay, so, and I think this is my final slide. We look forward to your solutions. We want to include them. I think Jan from Mission Cities and Laura said the same. This is exactly the kind of things that we think can inspire others, so we can actually make sure that this mission mentality, which is when we have a vision of where we're going and a timeline, by when we need to get there. I think your solutions can make sure that we actually meet those deadlines and inspire others to action. And with that, I'm finished for the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you for this presentation, especially I would say for the deep dive into the citizen engagement elements, but also for the connections and the links in how mission adaptation and the missions in general can spark even more actions on the base of what we are seeing and what we are testing today. So now let's dive into the candidates, the projects, your ideas, the proposal for this competition. You will hear now 14 proposals, and as my colleagues before mentioned to you already, those proposals in this case are addressing core elements and core topics related with what we do in mission adaptation to climate change. But several times they're also looking at broadening the scope and really looking at the entire climate agenda, including mitigation, but also I would say sustainability as a whole. For example, taking from circular economy or other topics that are really part of the same, as we can call it, green transition towards climate neutral and resilience Europe. So I would say, let's go and take a look on the video. We will come back here for questions from you directly to the participants, so that we can kind of deep dive a little bit more into the core topics and ideas behind these proposals. Please.
Hi, this is Aqua Smart Team. We help you to save 40% of water and 50% of money. Save drop, don't drip. Did you know that almost 40% of the world's population does not have enough drinkable water? At the hackathon, we were tackling a problem of water scarcity and massive tourism on the Canary Islands. The research shows that the highest consumers of water are luxury hotels. They spend 5 times more water than the usual citizens, as shown on the graph. Did you know that a 5-star hotel can use as much water as a small farm for an irrigation? That's outrageous. Our solution is installation of smart water meters, which are monitored by an app. The app can monitor consumption, detect leakages, suggest smart irrigation, manage recycling of grey water, and define the maximum consumption per guest. Hotel guests and citizens need stimulation. These are coupons for the guests and the tax incentives for the citizens and hotel owners. And why we are the best? Because there is no such integrated and scalable solution that would be used on Canary Islands yet. So what to do next? Save drop, don't drip.
Hello everyone, we are here today to pitch you about our idea. Imagine if all the students could combat climate change with ease, putting their knowledge into practice for a sustainable future. Students are frequently left without the knowledge or skills necessary to properly handle the urgent environmental concerns that will impact their lives, because climate change education in schools frequently falls short. Teachers in schools who are keen to incorporate engaging interactive climate education into their curriculum, as well as students between the ages of 10 and 18 are the target audience for our app. We have developed a cutting-edge educational app that inspires kids to take practical steps that will improve the world, in addition to teaching them about the climate change. What makes us stand out is our special combination of interactive projects, gamified challenges, and community-driven content that turns traditional learning into a fun, hands-on learning environment in order to make learning dynamic and effective. We also provide students with opportunities to participate in local environmental activities and receive real-time feedback. As we empower the upcoming generation to spearhead the fight against climate change, please join us. Get in touch to find out how you can include our software into your community projects or educational activities.
Did you know that up to 30% of food in households goes to waste each year? Eat Green is a meal planning app designed to tackle this issue by helping young adults make the most out of the ingredients they already have. With our app, you can enter the items in your fridge, and it will generate healthy, personalized recipes so nothing goes to waste. But Eat Green is more than just a meal planner. It's a social platform too. Users can share their favorite recipes, post photos of their meals, and even swap cooking tips. By encouraging sustainable food choices, we aim to save you money, reduce food waste, and connect like-minded individuals around a shared goal of healthier, more sustainable living. We've partnered with local farms and community organizations to promote seasonal, fresh ingredients and provide easy access to local produce. Wouldn't it be great to join a community that makes a positive impact on both your health and the environment?
Hello, we are a Food Rescuers team, and did you know that schools in Lithuania waste about 12 to 20% of food, and most of it is avoidable? So we are here to help them. So we are developing an app where students could pick their meals in the canteen for the next day, and therefore staff would precisely predict the number of students and plan their meal cooking and reduce food waste. From reduced food waste, there would be saved resources and finances. Cafeteria would be more appealing, and most likely more students would come to eat healthy food, and awareness about nutritional value and food waste management would be spread. And about the market, there aren't really competitors in Europe's market, especially ones that specialize in schools' canteens, so we'll be the only ones that try to tackle this problem. And in an app, we are planning to have many activities to engage students and teach them about nutritional value and food waste management, so they would be the part of our big project. And as we are still in a stage where only a prototype is made, we are searching for someone who knows how to code a mobile app to make a minimum viable product. And thanks for listening. This was Food Rescuers team.
Belgium faces significant water challenges: high agricultural consumption, pollution, and summer droughts despite frequent rainfall. Our solution tackles this through managed aquifer recharge. We help capture rainwater during wet seasons, store it in aquifers, and release it during droughts, providing farmers with a reliable water source while allowing them to track water usage with IoT. This means less water stress, cleaner water, and lower costs for farmers. While our MAR solution focuses on assessment, installation, monitoring, and maintenance, we also enable a collaboration network through the quintuple innovation helix, with 8 government initiatives, 12 university water research centers, 15 innovative water treatment organizations, 4 citizen science initiatives, and 4 agricultural cooperatives. We already contacted some researchers and organizations, and they confirmed their willingness to join and help this project. All we need to do now is get the government on our side with a strategic alliance. And based on our research findings on MAR, we estimate that water retention will increase by 30%, irrigation costs will be halved, 20% more food production, and in total, farmers could save up to €150,000 a year in water costs. It's scalable, adaptable, and designed to meet the pressing needs of farmers across Europe.
Poland is currently facing extreme environmental challenges, from contaminated groundwater and water scarcity to the worst air pollution and the largest waste imports in Europe. Ironically, Poland does not even have a reliable recycling system for its own waste. With 30% of groundwater failing to meet EU standards and 80% of farmers burning their waste, Polish farmers urgently need to change their habits to stop destroying our living ecosystems. Hydrocycle has embraced this challenge with a holistic approach to implement bio-based solutions for environmental restoration, together with community training, a platform dedicated to growing regenerative farming practice, and events fostering collaborative innovation. To maximise impact, the Regrow's platform focuses on engaging users in a transitional journey towards a clean biofuture, in which everyone can play an important role. The journey has two paths: a regrow path for soil restoration and plant growth, and a reflow path for water management. Users can register, connect, and form teams as solutions, collaborators, communities, implementers, or regrowers, and can add educational resources or events to the platform. Hydrocycle's solution impacts span across soil health, air quality, water quality, community skills, health, biodiversity, bioeconomy, and innovation.
Hello, I'm Ana Karapetian, representing Team Lagoon, which means just the right amount in Swedish. We are introducing Voice and Choice, a food waste reduction platform from Sweden to the world that tackles the environmental, social, and economic impact of food waste in schools. Did you know that 5 million meals are served daily in Swedish schools and around 30% of food gets discarded? Our platform gives students a voice and choice. Children can vote for their preferred meals, which empowers them to make healthier food choices, while fostering behavioral change. By collecting real-time data, we enable schools to make data-driven decisions, significantly reducing food waste. Voice and Choice connects children, parents, teachers, food suppliers, and farmers, creating a united effort towards sustainability. With 4 multidisciplinary team members, each focused on specific aspect, we are turning wasted food into an opportunity for a better future. Let's work together to reduce food waste and create lasting change for the environment. Thank you.
Hi, we are Kitty, Alina, Bintang, and Hadia, founders of Pesticide Busters. Our mission is to protect children from the hidden dangers of pesticides. Pesticides can enter the body through the skin, with food, or through the air, causing serious illnesses like leukemia and neuroblastoma. Many families don't realize that their children are often exposed to these dangers. We have developed 2 quick test sensors to help. The first is a paper-based test that detects pesticide residues in seconds using a chemical reaction. The second is a needle-based electrochemical sensor that works with a mobile app, giving instant results. Both are simple to use and help families make sure their children's food is safe. We need your support to further develop and test these prototypes and to collaborate with industry experts to make pesticide detection accessible to all families. Together, we can create a safer, healthier future for children everywhere.
Hi there, welcome back. We are Team Plimira and we want to make our cities more resilient and communities safer by addressing an ever more occurring problem of heavy rains and floods that are especially in cities causing large damages and casualties. We want to approach this problem by creating a partnership network for urban resilience by integrating citizen participation, urban governance, and state-of-the-art data processing. We want to provide a Plimira citizen app that will educate, engage, and enable live alerting of the citizens. And on the other side, Plimira Solutions platform that will provide decision-making insights and improve management to the city, public service providers, and insurance companies. Therefore, benefiting several problem owners from the citizens, enabling direct communication and better living conditions, the city by improved governance and maintenance, insurance companies by lower damage claims, and everybody else by a safer city and a high quality of life. We welcome you to team up and make our cities more resilient. Thank you.
Salve a tutti, we are excited to introduce the Nettugnani, which is a smart AI IoT network for flood management in Milan.
This innovation is also aligned with the objectives of the EU mission for climate change adaptation.
From 2013 to 2019, floods have caused over 400 million euro in damage in the Lombardia region.
Our adaptive system, through real-time water data, offers a subscription model for citizens, businesses, and government agencies, providing tailored solutions to help prevent and manage flood risks.
The Nettugnani integrates IoT sensor acting like the city's nervous system alongside our Nettuno AI, the brain, providing real-time flood predictions and monitoring.
By installing IoT sensors at key hydrological points such as Milan's Roman channels, rivers, wells, and aquifers, our smart network monitors and adapts to surface and groundwater behavior.
The Nettugnani can reduce flood impacts by 30% and improve safety by 40% within the first year.
It can save millions of euros in infrastructure and insurance costs, whilst supporting smart city and next-generation IoT initiatives.
Scopri di più sullo smart network. Il Nettugnani vi aspetta.
Did you know the toy industry generates 30 billion euros annually in Europe? For every million, they produce 40 tons of plastic, 90% of which is non-biodegradable. Furthermore, toy industry consumes 26 million tons of carbon dioxide annually. Toys play a massive role in shaping our early understanding of the world, and it's incredibly hard to change the consumption habits we learn in childhood.
And that's why we must do something. But let's be honest, getting kids engaged with sustainability is not that easy. And that's why we have created Toys Are Green, a platform that uses toys as a fun and interactive way to teach children about sustainability. Our catalog includes both sustainable and non-sustainable toys, offering detailed information on the materials, production processes, and environmental impact of each of the toys. With our initiative implemented, we aim to inspire kids and their families to make more conscious decisions.
We are not stopping there. We are launching a sustainable toy design challenge in schools, encouraging kids to think creatively about sustainability while introducing them to Toys Are Green.
We are Carlos, a data science student, Rodrigo, a mathematician and computer scientist, Yitzhak, a pediatric dentist, and Pablo, an economics student. Europe needs to start thinking about toys in the context of circular economy, and we are ready to join that challenge.
Balanced solutions, solving and mitigating flooding in urban areas. Frequent flooding occurs due to inadequate drainage systems. It costs humanity billions of euros and over 100 lives annually. With recent advancements in AI, we offer a natural technological transition to solve flooding. Our solution is a machine learning model that trains itself millions of times using publicly available data to create an optimal solution for a given parameter. Our solution can be created faster than using traditional methods and requires less expert knowledge. This solution saves lives and livelihoods, also ensures better traffic and less water-based property damage. Every project offers a long-lasting solution that eases the lives of many.
I once asked a friend to take care of my basil plant for a week. He said no, I don't know how. He's not alone. It's part of a bigger problem. Every minute, the world loses 43 football fields worth of farmland to climate change, and the global population is rising. We will need 50% more food than we can produce today. The solution is to farm upwards, vertically, but it's expensive, and above all, people don't know how to do it. That's where Vertifarm comes in. We offer modular vertical farming units for lease that comes in 3 sizes: single units, stacks, and containers. We have also devised an app that teaches you to farm, monitor plants, and even trade with others. We are making vertical farming easy for schools, restaurants, and individuals in the Nordics, starting in Finland and Sweden. We also want to collaborate with municipalities to provide rental units for citizens, similar to existing rentable farms and gardens in the Nordics. Together, we can make vertical farming accessible for everyone. Join our interdisciplinary team of sustainability scientists and students from Finland and Sweden in bringing vertical farming to the average Joe. Secure your food, secure your future, and secure your spot in the Vertifarm community today. Thank you.
The Flora Green Harvest Guardians project will support approximately 200,000 farmers in the sustainability of the value of the product for its economic and social development, as well as offer support for young people to return to their farms and the power of the role of rural women. Our project supports around 200,000 farmers in ensuring the stability of product value for their economic and social development, which is crucial. The focus on encouraging young people to return to their farms and empowering rural women adds an important social dimension. Engaging youth ensures innovation and long-term sustainability while strengthening the role of rural women, which will lead to inclusive growth and the building of more resilient rural communities. Lastly, the creation of the Agricultural Information Center paves the way for the establishment of a scientific research institute in the field of agriculture.
Okay, so back to studio. That was pretty cool. You would forgive me if my reaction is not very maybe institutional or scientific, but I think it was actually pretty cool. So now we will go to the Q&A. We will give you the possibility to actually ask questions on the implementation of those pretty cool ideas directly to the competitors. Maybe before that, let me go back to Elena, that I believe is still online, because I think we can take a little bit more time to to group the questions and maybe ask you directly. You are an expert in your daily life as a professional in turning ideas into projects, into tangible results. So do you have a specific tip or any other consideration you might want to share with the participants at this point in time?
Yeah, I mean, I think one key tip. I mean, I think it was really, really interesting to listen. I think it's really important that you understand who your solution is going to help, because they're the ones that really are going to support you. I think some of you have very clearly identified who would benefit, and they are really going to be your allies. So I think my tip to move forward, I think the other thing that was going through, and Federico actually works in DGRTD, which is the research part of the European Union, look also for ongoing projects, because now the European Union, as we move to the new Commission, innovation is going to be very, very important. I think we've had something called the Draghi report that basically says how important, Europe being innovative is going to be central. And European projects sometimes have cascade funding, or they have opportunities, to support the innovations that you have presented today. So I would say look for allies to make sure that these ideas don't stay as ideas and really go all the way to what we call tier 9, which is when they're actually on the market. And also, I guess, depending on the country you're in, there's quite a lot of support, incubators, training that could actually support you. I mean, as a owner of a small SME, I think asking for support is probably a good idea as you traverse the world of innovation, but it is quite exciting. So I would encourage all of you. And I think also it was very interesting that I think, as Jan said, for the previous bundle of innovations, some of you could probably actually, I know it sounds, I think you could even collaborate. I think we're moving into a new phase where the challenges are so big that it's not just about competition. I think it's also about collaboration. And even as an owner of an SME, I actually also collaborate with other SMEs. So I think particularly who will benefit from your solution, and then go and talk to them and ask them questions and be prepared to change your solution, because it's the problem owner that knows what they need. And you have to be prepared to pivot your solution to make sure that it really answers what the market or that, who suffers the problem actually, is useful for them. So be prepared to let your idea kind of grow and develop as it goes to market.
Thank you very much, Elena, for replying to this important question, I would say, for the participants, for the listener that are embarking in this journey with the youth parks. So now we are getting new questions directly from you, and I would like to indeed open the floor for the really discussion with the participants. We are receiving different questions on the different projects. Maybe there is one additional question that I wanted to address very quickly that we received, I can see here. There is basically a question specifically on how is the mission adaptation to climate change helping local communities become more climate resilient in practice. I will be very quick, of course, to then focus our attention to the actual participants. But just to say, as I mentioned before, the idea of mission adaptation is to test, deploy, and then scale up solutions. Concrete solution, territory-based, that are tailored to the needs of the local authorities and the regions that we serve as main beneficiaries. There are different examples of projects that are actually ongoing. We have, of course, an important budget behind our initiative with the projects from Horizon Europe. Some of them, for example, are directly targeting a specific type of regions, local authorities. For example, there is a project that is called Mount Resilience that is looking really at regions in mountain regions, and they are looking at water management, support against floods. They're also looking at adaptation of the tourism sector, for example, summer and winter season, in the face, of course, of the change that are driven by climate change. We have other projects that, for example, are dealing with health risks that might be related and caused or exacerbated by climate impacts. For example, occupational hazards when it comes to heat and heat waves. So very concrete solutions that in the end we hope on the one hand will help us transition, but that really bringing forward concrete solutions to, in our mind, really improve the everyday lives of citizens. And finally, we have also another type of support that is really looking to help regions and local authorities in, I would say, be empowered in taking action themselves. We can put it this way, meaning helping them in understanding the climate risks that they have, helping them in put forward tailored pathways, actions to support climate actions from an administrative and from a political perspective in their own territories. So we have this wide set of solutions that I think concur all together in actually making mission adaptation something, I would say, transformational in our opinion when it comes to these elements. But enough with that, let's now move to the actual question to the participants. I have one question for the team Aquasmart, and the question is the following. Great idea to address this problem and the market. There is an emoji on water, so I guess it's a water market. The question is this only addressed, in your opinion, to the Canary Islands, or do you think this can be actually easily replicated, or is this your long-term objective in this case? The floor is yours.
It can be deployed in different areas. A member of our team is actually living in Saudi Arabia, and he's an expert in desalination plants, and it's also, of course, around Europe where they're facing water scarcity. So the solution is highly scalable and deployable in other regions.
Okay, thank you. That was a pretty straightforward and clear answer that was addressing this, I think, important question that I would say apply to many of this proposal as well. Thank you for that. So let's go to the next question for another proposal, and I have in front of me another one for climate risk fighters. the question is, number one, appreciating the fact that you're focusing on students is a key, I would say, demographics, not only for adaptation, but in general, to really support the transition toward a green Europe. And the question is the following. How did you come up specifically with the idea to really address the next generation of students? Is there anything behind this idea that is really driven, that has driven your line of thought?
Hello, my name is Andrea. I'm from the Climate Fighters team. Beyond this idea, it's myself, because I find myself in this position. I was a student in college. I tried to learn about ecosystem, about climate change, and there was nothing in the curriculum exactly based on this. The classes were boring. We tried everything to do something fun, and I believe that coming with a quiz app that can be fun and educating children must be the idea for our next generation that comes after us.
Thank you for this reply. I think we all here in the room kind of nodding in the sense that we appreciate the fact that this is actually coming from your first-hand, I would say, experience, and if I may, gives even more value probably to the importance of bringing forward this solution on your side. So thank you very much for that. Next question, I would go to the project Eat Green. So the question would be for you, if you have in mind within your solutions, is who is the targeted customer base of your solution? Have you thought already about it, or is it maybe a part of the next steps in terms of implementation? The floor is yours. Bear with us, because I'm sure that they would come live soon, but if not, maybe we'll pass to the next question. Let's give it a little bit more seconds to the participants. Okay, let's go then to the next one, and maybe we come back to this question for Eat Green. Another question that I have on our side from the audience is basically from the Green team. The Green team. For you, the question that we receive from the audience is the following. Do you already have a network in place? And again, in your case as well, do you think that this solution is actually replicable? But I think the most important elements that the audience wanted to understand is if you already have a network in place that you can build on, or if you're planning to build a new one to actually support the implementation of your idea. The floor is yours.
Yes. Thank you for your question, Federico. Yes, we have a network in place of different innovative water filtration companies, as well as university researchers across Europe. And we are in the Water for All consortium, which essentially will be the base foundation for the innovation network that we will utilize in our solution. And it is very scalable and replicable simply because we capture rainwater that otherwise evaporates and leaves and disappears during heavy rain season. But during the summer droughts, our basins allow us to reuse and utilize the excess rainwater from the past to use at the key moments during the summer when the droughts happen. And this is all for the agricultural sector. So for farmers that have water management issues, we tackle water scarcity and water quality. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's move to the next question. And the next question is from one of actually the last project that presented their proposal, and is the Vlora Green Harvest Guardians. First, a comment. You're setting a so-called, and I'm quoting, a very strong mission for yourself. And this is, of course, welcome. The ambition is important. It's really the bulk of what we are here today. The question for you is, within this idea that you're bringing forward, how important is the team and the composition of the team to actually implement the grand vision that you're actually proposing us today?
Të gjithë janë është krijuar në mënyrë të që gjithë kanë role të tjera.
Okay, I will be translating because my colleague is one of the experts actually. Well, all the members actually are experts, and they will be, let us say, organizing this actually big idea, because they have the right expertise to put these ideas into action. They will be collaborating with with other third parties, let us say, like NGOs or local businesses. So the main members of this team are the members with the right expertise.
Thank you for this reply, and also thanks for the translation. It reminds me of Umberto Eco's quote, no? Europe's language is actually translation. This is really Europe in the making. So thanks for both of you for giving us this reply. Let's go to the next question then. To Vertifarms. The question for you, it's similar to another one that we had before for another proposal, and is, are you working in Sweden and Finland already, and is there a community already in place for this, which is not the network, but really a community that you can base on your proposal? The floor is yours. Thank you. Vertifarms. I will repeat again the questions, and of course, if it's not possible for you to reply, I can see you now live, so the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, I did not get the question. Do you mean that have we already launched it in Sweden and Finland?
Yes. So the question is there already a community that you can you base your project on, or this part of community building elements to test the implementation will still be part eventually of the whole implementation of the project?
So we do have a targeted community. For example, there is like a small neighborhood in Helsinki called Kallio. That is one of the places where we are first going to do it. And then also there is a community or like a neighborhood in Stockholm that we are going to do it. That will be where we'll be piloting it. If I got the question correct.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for this. Let's go to another one. And I would ask a question to the project Toys Are Green. The question, the comment from the audience is, love the name of the team. I agree, I can support as well this consideration. I like the name. The question is, how and why did you decide to focus on young children specifically? That of course, pesticide is a problem that is linked with the broader population, but you rightly so also decided to focus really on young children. Can you give us a little bit more information about that?
First of all, thank you very much for the compliment to the name. Then basically at the beginning we were started to look for solutions for adults or like for everyone. But like then we found like most people really wouldn't use them, in our opinion, and we're like investigating and doing research, and we found like different studies. For example, one from the European Union that said like more than 90% of people are concerned about environment, but only like less than a third take it into account in their daily consumptions. And then we keep researching about kids, and we found from the UN studies that says that kids are very important, and like from the 7 years old to 18 is like critical to build that consumer habits, and also that through kids has a huge potential of influence in families. So, for example, imagine we can impact a kid. That kid is gonna be all the day talking with their parents, and at the end, you know, all the family is gonna be more conscious about the environment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this reply. This actually gives me an assist in a way to mention that I think here in the room we appreciate the fact that you're looking also at the social element of adaptation. You're looking at the most vulnerable actual groups in society, and this is really much in line with what mission adaptation is doing. We are really looking also at trying to give priority in a way in understanding the solution that can be better fit to the most vulnerable part of a society to actually have a so-called just transition, not only when it comes to climate mitigation, but also in terms of climate adaptation. So thank you for bringing this point into the discussion. We have, I think, time for 2 more questions. So the next one that I would like to ask is for the project that is called Plimira. And the question is, would you have some cities in mind where you could start testing / rolling out your solution, and if so, how do you think are they chosen or should they be chosen? So it's really about question about how to choose the territories, the geography, when to test and deploy the solution that you're actually trying to propose us today. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. I'm going to first answer the second part, focusing on the criteria, how to choose the cities. So of course, the first criteria is that the city have this problem. We have seen recently in these weeks that most of Europe has this problem. The second criteria is that we would focus on medium-sized cities because they, on one side, have the capacities to support the pilot project, and on the other side, are not too big for a project like this to get lost in the city administration. The third one would be if the city is part of an existing project related to the topic. And the fourth one, to have a private partner, for, in our case, an insurance company potentially, to be interested in this solution. So if we go to like specifics, in this case, for example, we can look at the cities that are part of the net zero cities. There are 3 cities in Slovenia part of this network and 4 other in the Balkans that are all facing floods. And also in this area, one of the largest insurance companies, they do similar project like this, focusing on, for example, on road safety. So I think they would be an interesting starting area.
Super. Thank you actually for the quite clear and concrete reply on this important question. Let's go to the final questions, not because we lack questions, because there are some of them that are actually still in the making, but of course we need to make time also for the question to the other solutions proposed for the mission cities. So the next and final question would be for the project Vale solution. And your proposal is looking at machine learning, and the question is, can you explain what kind of solution to flooding your solution of a machine learning model will provide or could provide, in your opinion? Thank you very much.
Yes, so we have let's say a 3D model that has an input data based on how much rain falls, the terrain that it falls on, and similar. And we create a reinforcement machine learning model that actually trains itself millions of times until it creates an optimal solution. The ways to stop flooding in this case would be barriers, connection to underground rivers, creating new drainage system, so replanning the whole piping system and similar.
Okay, thank you for the clarification on your side, and I think with this we can close this session when it comes to specifically the project of this part of the program linked with mission adaptation to climate change. I'll now give the floor back to my colleagues, Laura, because now in the middle, of course, we managed to gather a quite good number of questions also for the other projects, and now will be the time for you to hear the questions and to hear the answer of the question that you've done and you actually published in the last half an hour or so. So Laura, I can invite you to the floor, either here in the podium or with the Madonna mic. Here in the podium. Thank you.
I'm usually against speaking at a podium, but I will go where the questions are. Therefore, So thank you so much for bearing with us as we collected rich questions for those of you in the first round, and we are going in a way full circle, and in line with that philosophy, I am going to start with the solution that was presented last in that round. There is a question for the Smog Buster Alliance. Somebody in the audience, first of all, reacts and says, interesting, with many exclamation points. But what do you need to make this solution happen, to see it become reality?
To develop a solid business plan, to define our clear goals, and then do market research, financial plan, and then we're going to secure funding and investment by doing a crowdfunding, getting grants, venture capital, angel investors, and then we do prototype development and testing, and then we're going to build like a strategic partnership. Also engage with the community to have like awareness campaigns, public input, and then we're going to like obtain approval for this project, and then we're going to scale the project for like pilot expansion. Yes.
Thank you so much, Smoke Busters. You obviously thought of the next steps. Very good food for thought also for us, the organizers of EU Sparks. And along the lines of something we always say in the city's mission, it's the city's mission, but it takes a village. I move now to the hemp sustain builders. Same reaction, interesting idea, but the question for the audience is specifically on how exactly the platform you are proposing will deliver on the idea.
I said already the construction industry today faces multiple barriers to adopt sustainable materials like industrial hemp. Now imagine you want to renovate with whatever material which is bio-based, and you go to any kind of building materials shop, do it yourself, any kind of big market, yeah, and you try to find these materials there, and you will be surprised to see that this is not possible. Now I will go to what our platform is doing. Our platform has 7 modules, and one of them is Education Hub. And you were discussing earlier with the toys and with informing the kids how they should learn to be sustainable. We believe it's important to bring the people this education part, that they know what is actually industrial hemp, that they don't mix it up with cannabis, what is happening quite often today and is making the people being scared of this material. We will have a community and networking. And for this, we would present there a lot of user cases and a lot of buildings which were already done in different kind of countries in Europe, but as well in other countries like US or Australia, which are much more flexible, to show the people, hey, this is happening today, and look what this kind of buildings can do and what for are they good. We'll have some insights showing the people where they can find financing or where they can find information which they need, or architecture companies or people which can help them with their projects. And we will have what I already mentioned at the beginning, the marketplace, where we'll present the materials, the machines, which can be used, yeah, but we will let the people know these are the materials, they are certified, they are allowed, you can get, you can buy them, and you have a place to buy them. Then we will have a part of policy and advocacy, where we will try to present per each and every region, because we think of entire Europe. We will start with a pilot of 4 countries, but we will not do this just for one country. And then we want to extend it to the entire Europe. And if this will be a success, why not to entire world? We want to have a supply and buyer tools section, where we'll have a directory for them, but we will provide them a lot of tools which can be interesting. And we will support, or we will have a section for support for certification. And certification can be useful for the farmers, that they get, for example, carbon credits money because they are farming hemp, or this can be done for the construction companies because they are using this and they get certification on this kind of sustainability platforms, which will accept that the buildings are renovated sustainable or are really built sustainable up to what we would like to do. So this is more what actually we try to do, and we will really do our best that the content which is there, because this was the most important part, which was important for us. The content which is there is a curated content. It's considering the researches which are staying behind the materials which we use, and we will try to really collaborate with all possible platforms or all possible entities and responsible in what means the policies regarding hemp, that we make them aware, okay, there is something to be changed in the policy, but to make them aware that if the people will partner, and there will be an ecosystem, which is actually what we want to create, an ecosystem which is concentrating just on industrial hemp for buildings, not industrial hemp generally, because this has a multitude of usages. Yeah, we hope to have this kind of niche and to let the people really develop on this area. Yeah? So this is a bit long, but I hope this answered the question.
Thank you so much for taking back to the idea that indeed it takes a village, that we need to join expertise, we need to join, when it comes to implementation, to governance, to finance. And we're moving now to heat fighters. There is a question for you, and obviously somebody has been paying attention during the European Week of Regions and Cities, because they refer to the report on the state of the EU regions and cities that came out on Monday, where we found out that Europe is warming up twice the rate of any other continent in the world. So in this context, the question for you is this solution that you are foreseeing applicable to Athens only, to Greek cities only, or do you foresee a larger application for this in terms of geography?
Hello, thank you. First of all, we considered starting from Athens because, first of all, we live there. Also, it is one of the first cities signing to the climate adaptation cities. And also, as I said in my introduction, we aim to target our solution mostly and initially to the most vulnerable households. So in order to tackle the energy poverty issue as well. So since we're like a Mediterranean city in a Mediterranean country, yes, we think that our solution is replicable to other Greek cities initially, maybe like Larissa, which is a very heat-prone city. And later on, maybe we could expand in the Balkans, which also face energy poverty issues at a high level.
Thank you so much. And we stay in the same area. From the heat fighters, we move to the heat busters. The question for you relates to heat waves and what the perceived reality of heat waves are in your specific geographical locations and how that influenced your proposal, and maybe a related question on whether the heat wave itself as a reality, how it is acknowledged at the national level, and whether you can link with other policies that are in place to address such an issue.
Hi, thanks for the question. One thing I can definitely say is heat waves are almost starting to become more normalized, we found out, whereas a couple of years back, certain degrees are at the front times front page of the paper, and now they don't even make the news anymore. So it's definitely having more of an impact more and more, especially somewhere like Malta, where we're always in higher temperatures. So that's why our solution goes out to try solve that by bringing down the urban heat island effect and temperatures in cities all around. And it can be replicated in many other cities and countries where they have specific policies more adapted to the situation. Yeah, hope that answers.
Indeed, we're moving now to the Green Cool Innovators. Some reactions from the public, cool pitch, cool idea, echoing your name. But there is a bit of a curiosity as to which extent the different types of expertise and profiles that you have in the team have contributed to shaping the proposal.
Yeah, thank you for the question, because it is not only essential that we do, it is essential to demonstrate our qualification to convince the investors and the citizen of both solution and our ability to execute it. As Ms. Elena mentioned like 50 minutes ago, it's important to move from idea to reality. Our team, to answer your question, our team is strong due to diverse experts and innovations approach. We combine of technical skills from cooling systems, planet implementation, and energy management, giving us the ability to address the challenge from multi angles. To mention, two of us already worked on implementation cooling system, large scale, in North Africa, where advanced cooling solutions are essential. As a cooling demand increasing in Europe, this knowledge become invaluable as we engage stakeholders and secure the necessary funding with clear strategy. While we focusing on sustainability sets as we integrating the new cooling system and the storage in the already existing district heat grid, we focusing on more to a feasibility study to ensure that our solution in both financially and technically are valuable. I hope I answer your question.
Thank you so much, and thank you for reminding us that there is power in diversity and difference, and we should all tap into that. I am moving now to Ecoluvera, to which our public reacts very clear presentation, but still they would like to get a bit more insight on how you have calculated the exact numbers of 200 neighborhoods and 150 fast food restaurants. Ecoluvera, are you with us?
Yes, we are with you. We gave this number by knowing how many restaurants that we had at least, because our first purpose was to work on the apartment that we are all, most of the team are living in. So we had some statistics about how many restaurants and fast food are in France and in the places that we can keep in touch at the starting of our startup.
Thank you so much. Moving on. Please add.
I guess that's all. That's all for the beginning, because our team is a team of we all live in different places. So we wanted to start by starting with the nearby us. So we had some studies about the restaurants and fast food that are so close to us. And as you know, we have some PhD students. So this allows us to work with university restaurants. That's why we gave this number as a starting.
Thank you so much for the clarification. And indeed, it's a good idea to address from the beginning the idea of scaling up and replication into the project. We are moving now to the eco-innovation enthusiasts, and there is maybe a very common sense question for you. Everyone happy, indeed, but what happens if there is no wind?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? So if there's no wind, we will have optional solar powered panels that will do the what is it called? The momentarily. Okay. Maybe our researcher can answer the technical question better.
Yeah, you were gonna say solar chimney, right? The part of our project has solar chimneys. So solar chimney will be active during the day when the wind is not available. But the project will be placed usually where the wind is plenty. And as we measured and as we looked up the maps, there are plenty of cities where we have continuous availability of the wind.
Thank you so much. You remind us that there are always ways to work with, but sometimes around Mother Nature in very creative ways. Moving to the next project, which to me sounds very Italian, Delce. I'm just going to pronounce in Italian, just for fun. The audience loves your idea, but how did you come up with this particular focus?
Yeah, thanks for the question. All of our team members are from Riga, Latvia, and in the recent years we've seen an explosion in e-bikes and e-scooters on the streets. And as users of these technologies ourselves, we wanted to think about a way that the number of these vehicles required on the street could be reduced and basically make the technology greener and more
sustainable.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Indeed, reality can be the biggest inspiration sometimes. Moving on to the next project, which is the Cool Shade Solutions. One question for you is the cooling center does not guarantee comfort when a heat wave strikes beyond 3 days. So the question raised by the audience is, wouldn't it be better to do just building renovation? Cool Shade Solutions, are you still with us? If not, I can move to the next solution and we can maybe come back. So the next question is addressed to city layers. And one aspect that the audience likes is that you have been focusing on vulnerable communities, right? And they want to ask how you were inspired to choose this focus and why is that so important for your team?
Yes, so I hope you can hear me and hope you can hear me well. First of all, thank you for that question. To start off, city layers, our team really wanted to focus on something that impacts a large group of people and that also puts humans at the center of the issue and also at the center of the solution. And since almost half of the urban population is made up out of this vulnerable groups, meaning health-impaired people, people with functional diversity, so also elders, young people, and so on and so forth. And all of them have very unique requirements that also still need to be addressed. They still lack tools to voice their needs, especially because they're also not represented as much in politics, for example. So we really wanted to put these people into the center of our solution because we think that on the one hand, climate change is already here. They are already suffering disproportionately from its effects. And at the same time, they also needs to be considered more than the general population. However, that does not mean that they are the only people who would benefit from this, because we really want to, on the one hand, already address or give them a voice now, and then also in the future, work with the city to create, for example, better green spaces, better city development, and so on and so forth, which is really what our mapping tool is for, to really address the urban phenomena, or city layers as we call them, that need to be addressed in an effective manner for everyone involved.
Thank you so much, City Layers, and thank you so much for bringing up the idea of a just transition and of spatial justice. I'm moving now, we're almost at the end, to B Energy, and the public appreciates very much the many advantages that come with your solution, but they ask, if you were to pick the biggest advantage of your proposal, only one, what would that be?
Oh, okay. Thank you for the question. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Actually, generating measurable and easy to interpret outputs and prediction about carbon dioxide emission and the energy efficiency of building will help people calibrate against the climate change. And the biggest advantage of our solution is using technological drivers such as Geographical Information System, GIS, and artificial intelligence and cloud computing to develop a digital twin-based energy efficiency platform for local authorities and citizens. In other words, our solution will make cities more sustainable by decreasing carbon emissions and improving energy efficiency and quality of life, and creating a service for monitoring and analyzing the energy efficiency and carbon dioxide emission for buildings with gamification process will bring the social, environmental, and economic benefits for citizens. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we have truly come full circle. We have arrived at Allium, who was also the first stop for us in discovering the solutions under EU Sparks. So Allium, here is a question for you. The public notes that there is a lot of potential associated with your solution, but maybe is curious a bit to find out more about the back story of the solution. Why did you choose this particular solution, and how would you see its potential ramifications?
Thanks for the question. I hope that you can hear me. So I suppose that there is no cuisine in Europe that doesn't use onion or garlic. I think like everyone and everywhere, the garlic and onions are used. And if you think about the garlic or the onion, this is like an apple, but I don't have onion with me, I just have an apple. So if you can imagine that this is an onion, what do you think about it? It has a peel, and the purple or the brown one. And when you think about the peel, like this is waterproof, this is pretty dense, this is it's strong, right? Okay. And what do you do with this waste? You just peel it off and you throw it away. So we think like, okay, as a material chemist, we think like the properties are pretty nice. We have to deal also with the microplastic, with the plastic issue. The paper is not waterproof. So we need to find something different. And this different, we have, like all of us have it in our kitchen. So this is how we actually think about the solution.
Thank you so much. You make me think now that we should amend our sayings and from now on just state that an apple a day keeps climate change away. And with that, I will give the floor back to our moderators for today for the closing remarks.
Okay. Sit. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay, well, so thank you so much. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Federico. Thank you also, Jorn. Thank you, Elena. And thank you especially to all the teams who have presented the solutions that they have developed or these insightful ideas that demonstrate that, well, we can really empower all the sectors of society to deliver innovation by connecting, well, people with citizens, with researchers, and, well, working together to address the climate challenges. Well, as you know, all the local hackathons were developed with the support of the local hosts. 24 entities communities across Europe that supported the development of the competition by connecting with the local ecosystem. That was really important, also spreading the word about the competition and engaging people to participate. The role of the local hosts has been essential, and also it will continue to be essential as most of the local hosts, they are continuing their support to the teams so that they can really deliver an impact. So we wanted to bring also the experience of one of our local hosts to this event. She is Roberta Talarico. Roberta is co-founder and president of All Green since 2022. She's an innovator working with European and global frameworks to build new business models to ensure healthy, systemic, and sustainable growth. And well, she has been participating in the project, co-hosting one of our hackathons, the Tirana hackathon, where we had participants from Albania, from Montenegro and Bosnia and Herzegovina, and it was also co-hosted with Vilnius and Cork Louth, so we also had participants from Estonia, Lithuania and Ireland. So thank you very much, Roberta, for being with us today, and you have now the floor.
Thank you, Miguel, and thank you for the invitation to be here, both for sharing this additional perspective from the local host, and also for celebrating with you all key actors, let's say, in realizing this unique initiative. This is really beyond anything that is already done before, beyond boundaries, beyond any digital and technical problem. And it was amazing for me to listen to all the project ideas, and above all from the teams and their energy that is behind their project ideas. And I was also, let me start with this also, think that the feeling is kind of being in a union of Europeans today, no? Rather than in the European Union. And yesterday was just awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics for the artificial neural networks. And here we could also aspire, I think, for the Nobel for ourselves for making neural networks a reality. So congratulations to all. I'm really glad to celebrate. And from the local host perspective, it was very interesting because we have been working in the last 3 years in Albania and Western Balkans in the missions framework. Why in the missions framework? Because we strongly believe that missions, so purpose-driven initiatives, are the one where you can really engage people in something very meaningful. But this framework needs sense-making, needs mobilization of people, and needs concrete making for become a reality. And in the EU Spark for Climate initiative, we found the ideal ground for making all these building blocks a reality in our job in the Western Balkans. And first step was stopping and also looking at the challenge of the EU Sparks for Climate, understanding how to deal, how to address our responsibility as local hosts in the best way. And we started from the zero moment, not just the hackathon, but really in advance with the policy officer of the European Commission in charge for it and with the coordinator of the initiative to sense-making among the key stakeholders about the initiative, the potential of the initiative, and how to make it meaningful for in the context, in the local context. So we started to mobilize the communities. We are working there in the already for the EU missions. So we addressed and we targeted researchers and citizens, but also the decision maker, because we wanted the team to understand that for them that was the opportunity to work on their challenge at the local level and to have already the decision maker, so the one that are then that are able to solve the barriers with respect to their challenge, engaged also in the initiative. So they're listening to their local needs and also be engaged in how to develop together a common solution that can become a practice and can make, in this case, Albania, Western Balkans, so associated country, also closer to the European Union, closer to the European citizenship. Then there was the moment of the hackathon where was the making moment where the most important aspect was the energy among among people participating in the initiative, and with an attitude of learning from each other. So open to listening to each other and also respect to the starting point of their idea, be open to add also new insight to their perspective. And the 3 days of the hackathon were really a very deep experience where the feedback that all the people involved were then different once the hackathon was finished. And there were new friends, there were new insights at personal and community level, and the great energy to continue with this moment in particular that was very weighted from everyone. So the moment where they have the chance to showcase with everyone their project ideas and the opportunity also to continue developing, working on that for their local community, but then also as a practice that can contribute to a better European Union in the future. And our commitment, of course, is to continue to build impact and to have actions, activities as the EU Sparks for Climate as a pivotal instrument for all the EU mission, for having people at the center of the implementation of this mission by doing. And this new community that was born around the EU Sparks for Climate to remain vital and continue doing cooperation and action together. So thank you for giving this opportunity. From our side, it was very interesting also for the responsibility that we have in a specific geographical area, and I want to underline the importance in all the European initiative to always look at the context, specific context, and give space for orchestration of any initiative at local and country level, with the coordination, of course, at European level. That's important union of Europeans that we can do. So thank you to all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Roberta, for sharing all these important messages, for having participated, well, as part of the initiative, and for highlighting the importance of this local component, which for the project was essential. So this is why the role of the 24 local hosts that we had was essential, and without your support, it would have been impossible. So thank you for that. So, well, now it is time to close the event. As you know, tomorrow we will have our final with the teams and the distinguished members of the jury. And then, after months of dedication, of energy and creativity, we will know who the three champions, the three winning teams of this first European Citizens Hackathon Championship will be. As you know, this will be a closed event. It will be just between the teams and the judges, but right after the event, we will announce the names of the three winners, the three winning teams, and also the names of the other 6 finalists. So please stay tuned to our channels to find out the results. And well, as we said, the journey continues for our winners with the dedicated support that they will receive after, well, becoming winners of this competition. But for all the teams, because, well, you have developed your solutions, you have catalyzed all your energy, your enthusiasm, and your commitment into a solution that can really make an impact, and this is very important. So your journey continues with all the lessons that you have learned and all the energy that you have brought into the development of your solutions. And well, before we close, let me thank again the European Commission, the advisory board of the project consortium, and also all the experts who have participated as mentors, as judges, or coaches for the teams. And of course, thank you to the teams, to all the teams who have participated, the 74 teams that we have had, and the 27 teams that we have in this final. And obviously, thank you to the audience. We have had more than 500 people connected, and at some moments during the well, streaming of the session, what is great. This means that a lot of interest has been created. So thank you for that. Thank you for being there, and stay tuned to our news. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Thank you.